All right. Well, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'm James Davey, and I'm going to be running for you guys. It's your thing.
Yeah, and it's my channel, but I don't have to be the one in that chair the whole time. So,
I don't know about that, Scott.
Oh, shut up.
Well, anyway, so Simulacra Studios was kind enough to allow us to come and I always say us, allow me to come and demo.
If you want to royal we it,
It's fine. It's your company. It's your thing.
Well, my brother's not here. He's watching the stream at home, but he had to work tonight. So Simulacra was kind enough to allow Gemini Studios, the studio that I started with my brother, to come and demo our game for a large group of people, I hope. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about the Midnight World a little bit. We're going to kind of go over some basic concepts before we really get started.
Oh, by the way, that's Scott. I'm Matt. That's Ryan.
And I'm James.
Yeah.
Hey.
The three of us are all on the Polyhedron podcast, which you probably heard.
James has been on it a fair bit.
Times.
Yeah, I've been not for a while.
Maybe you should be on it one time to talk about the Midnight World around time the Kickstarter comes out.
That's a great idea. I love the idea.
Probably a minute to midnight, I'm thinking.
Yeah, something like that.
Hashtag good content.
So again, as we mentioned earlier, the Midnight World is a existential horror tabletop RPG, sort of in the same vein as Call of Cthulhu or World of Darkness 2.0. Those sorts of experiences, and the next question most people have is, okay, cool, why? Why another existential horror tabletop RPG? The reason that we developed this game is because my brother and I are both combat veterans with PTSD. And when we first tried to reintegrate into civilian society, we had a lot of trouble trying to explain what was going on with us, what anxiety was doing to us, how it was affecting our day-to-day lives. And sort of on an unrelated note, at some point, we were playing a World of Darkness campaign, and we decided we wanted to try to figure out how to show our players what having anxiety was like for us. Mm-hmm. So we toyed around with a few different mechanics, and one mechanic would lead to another, and then another, and then another. And over the course of one night, my brother and I realized that we had developed an entire system. Mm-hmm. So once we realized what we had done, we decided we were really going to kind of dive into the idea of a horror game in which your characters struggle with mental health issues and have the same sorts of anxiety and PTSD that we as human beings have, but in ways that don't boil those things down to sort of the kinds of things that you see in Call of Cthulhu, where once you hit 100% insanity, you're insane and you can't play the character anymore. Well, what does insane even mean?
Correct.
Nobody is insane all the time. Some people, insane's not even really a word in the medical profession, but you may have an exacerbation of symptoms that may affect you right now. And so we decided we wanted to kind of play with that and create a sandbox where people could explore those feelings, but at the end of the day, you could pack all of that back up, you could put it all back in your briefcase, and you could forget it all. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to have a game that is full of monsters and fantastic scenarios in which these things affect you, but at the end you can put it away and it doesn't actually affect you. So that's what the Midnight World is.
Very cool.
To that end, I'm going to explain just a few out-of-character things before we move into explaining sort of the in-character world. Out of character, every character in this game has anxiety or PTSD or something like it. So you will see words in our game like trauma trigger. We don't play with those words. They're not funny to us because as PTSD sufferers, we have them in real life. Mm. So in this game, when you see trauma trigger, a trauma trigger is a very real thing that really affects these characters in a certain way. Out there to the audience at large, we have a sidebar in the book that specifically states to storytellers, if people at your table are doing things like, oh, are you triggered, ha ha ha, you should probably ask them to leave your table. It's not the kind of thing that we're playing around with.
I mean, I'm just going to do that.
Normally, in any game.
Yeah, normally, yeah. Like, leave my house, leave the state, please.
You can leave the whole country if you want. The other sorts of things, I will be doing a lot of things like warning you what kind of things you may encounter. I know you guys pretty well. I'm not that worried about crossing any boundaries, but I don't know you well enough to know if you've got boundaries that I may cross. We don't want to cross boundaries, so one of the things that we recommend is that storytellers get together with their players and say, look, I'll let you guys know that in this module tonight you will experience or you will come across some dead animals and some dead humans. If that's going to be a problem for anybody, I can try to rework it.
I don't like dead pets,
Fair enough.
but I can deal with it.
Okay.
It's not my favorite thing in the world, but
I won't describe anything in extreme detail.
good times.
So essentially, you wanted us to talk about basically content warnings, the idea of this is the things that we're just not comfortable dealing with at this particular time.
Right, because again, the main thing here is at the end of the day, we don't want our game to cause any real harm to anybody. So what we'll do is the dead animals, it's not house pets, and when you encounter them, I won't get into great detail.
That'll work just fine.
So, a little bit about the in-character world of the Midnight World. The Midnight World is very much like the world that we live in today. In fact, it is a version of it. Back at the very beginning of all reality, when the Big Bang occurred, the Big Bang birthed the universe. It also birthed an infinite number of other universes at the same time, in the same space, and that area is called the multiverse. But for every one of those universes that succeeded and lived and everything worked out, an equally infinite number of them did not.
Right.
We call those the corpse universes. Corpse universes are, for whatever reason, universes that never fully came into reality, so they exist in a state of potentiality. All of the universes that did come into fruition have this thing around them called the Twilight Veil. The Twilight Veil is a metaphysical barrier that stops the sort of the rot that comes through in those corpse universes from affecting the worlds that did come to be. In the Midnight World, right after creation, that veil was damaged. So in our world, we hear things like somebody saw a werewolf on Bray Road in Wisconsin in 1926. Those are things from the corpse universes exerting influence on our reality.
Right.
But that's all they can really do. In the Midnight World, they can do a lot more than that. They can more wholesale affect the world. Now, in those corpse universes, those things that have come to live there are called the dread beings. Dread beings, the easiest way to think of them would be capricious otherworldly gods. They have mastered their universes, these unreal potential universes with rules that don't make any sense. All of the physical realms that were spawned follow similar rules. Math works the same in our universe as it does in the Midnight World. But in any one of these corpse universes, math may work in an entirely different way, and the things that live there have mastered that.
Right.
So the way that I try to make people think of dread beings versus the things you will normally encounter in this game, because most dread beings cannot physically come into the world, even the Midnight World, but they can send their agents. So don't think of Freddy Krueger as being a dread being. Think of the Dream Masters as being the dread beings.
Yeah.
And they're the things that sent Freddy Krueger into this world. Freddy Krueger is just one of their agents. We use chaos magic terminology to explain what things are. So they sent their servitors into the world. Those servitors combined into an egregore, and Freddy Krueger is an egregore of these things.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, I knew you might be familiar with those terms.
A little bit, yeah.
So the only thing that is markedly different, obviously, about the Midnight World versus our world is that the sun in the Midnight World never gets any brighter than it does on an overcast day on our Earth.
Okay.
So when the sky is perfectly clear, it's still pretty dark there, but you guys will have never lived in any world that wasn't true in.
Right.
Okay.
Also, when there's even the thinnest sliver of moon showing, you have as much light as you would during a full moon. So the illumination level really does not change much from night to day in the Midnight World.
Unless it's completely dark in the sky. Like
Unless it's a new moon.
New moon, and yeah, obviously
And
no
then
sun.
some stuff probably happens, but we're not going to experience that tonight. So now what we're going to do now, those are sort of your basic understandings of the Midnight World and what we are doing here. What we're going to do now is we're going to go through character creation. And I wanted to go through character creation in front for two reasons. The first reason is because I'm very proud of character creation, and we want people to see it. I know a lot of the people, hopefully, that are on the stream or are going to be watching the recorded version later have heard us talk about it but haven't seen it. We want them to see it. The other reason is we recommend that tables go through it together, because if we've made it very, very difficult for anything to be too damn real on this.
Yeah.
But for instance, if this guy's actual no shit PTSD trigger is something that your character rolls, he needs to be able to hear that so he can say, "Hey, do you mind not? Could we re-roll that one
Just
so
so
that
I'm
doesn't?"
not in a death spiral the entire game.
Right, exactly. So here's what we're going to do. Everybody, turn your character sheets over on the back,
All right.
and you're going to see an area that says memory.
Okay.
Memory,
You'll
got
see
it.
6 slots underneath that memory. For each one of those slots, I want you to roll the d20 one time and just write next to the prompts what that number is.
So, great. Just go down the list.
Just down the list.
Okay.
All right. So exciting, everyone. Ready? And my last one. 8. Cool.
Got it.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go one prompt at a time.
Got it?
And we're going to start with you, Scott. So, Scott, once
12.
a few days after the fire.
Okay. Days. I'm shit at writing, but I'll.
That's all right. Me too.
Fire days.
What you're going to do now is you're going to flip your sheet back over, and you're going to see your attributes.
Okay.
For strength, I want you to fill in 1, intellect 3, charisma 2, coordination 1, intuition 2, and resilience 3.
All
See,
right.
Ryan is a prodigy, and
Oh, I didn't know. Were we not supposed to be doing this at the same time?
You can do that. We're still going to talk about.
Oh,
what
I
your
was going to
memory
talk
is.
about it. I just didn't want to. I just wanted to get the numbers.
You can
taken.
absolutely do that. Perfect.
So we can talk.
So once,
once I had a 3.
when you were 17,
When I was 17.
I know that my whole playtest group is talking to me right now. Sorry, guys, I can't respond to you.
Do the thing, man.
So attributes.
Strength 2,
Cool.
intellect 3,
Neat.
charisma 1 because 17-year-olds probably not great at talking to
Yep.
people. Coordination 2,
Nope.
intuition 3,
Cool.
resilience 1.
Understood.
And then what was your?
Once during basic training.
Oh, well, we figured out kind of something about your history. All right, Scott, you found yourself
5.
you found yourself trapped in a building you should not have been in.
Oh boy.
A lot of this, I'm going to tell you how we came up with these memory fragments. We got like 5 of us together, and we sat down and told stories, scary stories from our childhoods, and we
And
just
just-
broke them down.
Yeah, that works.
Now you're going to go back to the front of your sheet, and you are going to see an area that says solace trigger.
Uh-huh.
Solace trigger is the smell of baking bread.
Okay.
Matthew,
All right. 7. I found myself at 7.
you found yourself sitting alone near a small pond.
Oh.
That sounds a lot nicer than mine.
No.
It's going to work out really well for you in this specific module because your solace trigger is the sound of rain in the trees.
Sound rain trees. Solace trigger.
And mine was, I found myself lost and alone in an unfamiliar place. My solace trigger is chatting with a close friend.
Oh boy.
Okay, good. That actually should be pretty easy for you.
I hope I like you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Nope.
I swear I saw.
14.
I swear I saw an onyx-skinned beast.
Onyx-skinned beast.
Now, you don't have to write down all of this, but I'm going to read the whole memory fragment.
Sure.
Standing nearly 10 feet tall and bearing razor claws.
Oof.
And your trauma trigger is having your arms trapped at your sides.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is my actual trauma trigger.
okay.
Yeah, that's why that made it in there.
All right. Mine was 2. I swear I saw 2.
I swear I saw The creature from my recurring childhood nightmare made flesh.
Oof.
Hi, Pennywise. Creature of
Your trauma trigger is snakes or serpentine creatures.
orcs.
I swear I saw a colossal golem carved of earth and stone, staring down at me with burning eyes. My trauma trigger is dolls or mannequins.
Yeah, and dolls or mannequins are creepy.
Yeah,
It really is. All I could do was 10.
All I could do was stare in rapt fascination,
Oh, I mean,
horrified but intrigued. Your innate archetype is Brainiac.
Bro.
All right, Matthew.
Yes, number 19.
All I could do was drop into a crouch, take note of my surroundings, and form a plan.
Ready?
And your innate archetype is Tough Guy.
Oh, that works.
All right.
All I could do was set my teeth and stare at the thing, refusing to be broken. I am insolent.
Yeah, I love insolence. I love insolence.
Not insolent.
Also insolence. Yeah. Not for my children, then. Scott, then the thing
11.
Came apart. Its component pieces showering me with gore.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not great.
Well, I mean, I could think of at least a dozen other worse outcomes.
Yeah. Your challenge is unlucky, but your privilege is unflappable. And I'll explain what those mean in a second. Matthew.
5. Then the thing.
Then the thing began to sing a soft lullaby, the same one my mother used to sing, and sank beneath the ground.
Now, I got the same one as Scott did. Should I
Reroll it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with 17 then. Appeared to be devoured from within, its body shrinking to a single point in the air and then fading. I am unmotivated, but my privilege is I am hardy.
And I'll explain that in just a moment.
I need to get my challenge and my privilege.
Yeah, and your challenge is authority averse.
Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me.
Do what you do. And my privilege.
Easily consolable. And I'll explain again all of that in just a moment.
And then mine was, ever since then, 7.
Ever since then, I've tried hard to recreate the things I saw, hoping to get the images out of my mind.
Okay.
And your vocation is artist.
Oh, boy.
Matthew.
8.
Ever since then, I've dedicated my life to science in the hope that logic might drown the images burned into my brain. And your vocation, obviously, is scientist.
This is a very interesting mix.
I've learned all I could about healing, hoping that I can prevent others from enduring the pain I felt, and I'm a doctor.
Fantastic. All right, so last little part. What we're going to do now is, Scott, your innate archetype was
Brainiac.
Brainiac. Look at this really cool book that, I mean, this is just the character creation chapter, but it's 46 pages. So this is a real book that we're making.
Oh, boy.
This is not just
Got
vaporware.
text and everything.
It's got text.
I really like that.
Yeah, I mean,
That was fun.
I will say this, because you're looking at the page, the logo for Midnight World is pretty dope, actually.
Yeah,
pretty
As
dope.
I said, it's like Neil Gaiman gave you a sweet kiss.
Lucas Ryan is our artist. He's amazing.
It's right up there, if I'm pointing in the right direction. Hold on. Right up there. Maybe right up there.
It's
It's
over
somewhere
here.
on the
I don't
screen.
know how cameras work.
So Brainiac,
What's real?
now you're going to have a series of skills that everybody
Yep.
has on their sheet. For those, you're going to wit 3,
All right.
vigilance 3, metal 2. You can go ahead and fill yours in if you want.
Okay.
Composure 2, manipulation 2, and everything else is a 1.
Okay.
And there's a little spot on the back of your sheet that says
Okay, I see.
dread contract.
Oh my.
Under first hour, you are going to write the madness angle.
Madness.
And you're an artist, so let's get that too. So flip back over one more time. These are going to be your vocational skills. You're going to write create 3, investigation 3, technology 2, Psychology 2. Language 2. And then the following are all 1. Performance, negotiation, instruction, and mechanics. All right. So for create, technology, and performance, have an idea of what your specializations in those things are. So for create, it's usually a physical medium of art. And that has a somewhat of an effect.
Right.
And then language, just for each dot, you get an additional language that you speak. And that's it. Your sheet is done.
Sounds good.
All right, Matthew.
All right. What you need to know from me?
You are insolent, correct?
Insolent. Hold on. What was that? What was
I
it?
am insolent.
No,
He's insolent. I am. Is that the challenge?
No. Oh, yeah. I'll get to those in a minute. I forgot to tell you what those meant. But your innate archetype.
Oh, architect. Thank you. Tough guy.
Tough guy. All right, tough guy.
Tough guy scientist.
Toughness. Yeah. Toughness 3.
Got it.
Endurance 3.
Okay. Okay.
Composure 2. Metal 2. Vigilance 2. And everything else is a 1.
Okay.
And you're going to flip over for your first hour contract. You are going to write coronal flash.
Ooh.
Now, your vocation is scientist.
Yes.
Science is also one of those things that you need to have and a specialization in.
That's fine.
So you are going to have research 3,
Okay.
Science 3, technology 2,
Okay.
investigation 2, nature 2, and all the following are 1. Language, create, medicine, and mechanics. This didn't end up into the final draft, but what was your innate archetype?
I'm insolent.
I have to look that one up because I don't remember it off the top of my head. Or I could just assign you one. I'm just going to assign you one.
Cool.
So that I don't have to look it up.
Do it live.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Tech. Investigation.
Where does this live on the sheet? This bit.
Flip over to the back side
Oh,
of
it's
your
on
sheet.
the back, okay.
First hour contract.
Gotcha.
What do I think would be good for you? You're insolent. We are going to give you reflexive cognition. All right, so real quick, what is your challenge?
My challenge is unlucky.
Unlucky. So the way that unlucky works, at some point during this game, you're going to roll a success in a moment where you really needed a success, and I'm going to arbitrarily decide that you actually got a catastrophic failure instead.
Ah, how
I'm gonna
life
write
does,
that
yes.
on here so
Yep.
that you
Yep.
you know that I've got that.
Yep, that's
Bad nook.
it's not great,
Wow.
and I will absolutely use it in a way to hurt you.
As well you should.
Yep. And I believe you're unflappable.
I am.
So what you can do, whenever you have to make a roll to resist any sort of panic or mental manipulation, you resilience up here, your resilience, those are normally going to be rolled at a d6, but for 1 minute per die, you can upgrade them to d8s.
I see.
So I'll remind you about that
Sure.
because that's
When
kind
it
of hard
comes
to
up.
remember.
I will. Well, when that situation comes up, we'll talk.
And
about
your dread contract.
it. My dread contract is the madness angle.
So what the madness angle does is at any time where you are in a situation where you really need to see everything you can about the situation, you can take 1 minute, and by doing that, you open the eyes of every other version of yourself that is in a similar situation throughout the multiverse. You immediately see any mundanely hidden item in the room. If there's any plot information that you have not yet found in the room, you immediately see it, and you can roll to spot anything that is supernaturally hidden.
That's pretty cool.
Matthew,
What would you like to know?
your challenge.
Authority adverse,
Okay, authority averse.
aka damn the man.
In any scenario wherein your character must make a social or mental skill roll against someone I deem to be an authority figure,
Yep.
your target number is raised by 1, and if you fail and have to comply with them, you immediately gain 2 minutes.
Gain 2 minutes.
And I'll explain. I should have really gone over what the clock meant. I'll do that before we go into play.
It's all right. It's a resource.
It's a resource.
And you are easily consolable, correct?
Yes.
Whenever you engage in your solace trigger, you bleed minutes at twice the normal rate.
Times 2 rate.
Yep.
Okay. So when I hear rain in the trees.
Yeah, which basically means it's going to be hard for me to keep you distressed because this happens in Maine during a torrential flood.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you're gonna be chill.
I live here. This is where I live.
But I can do things like, if a gun goes off near your head, deafen you so that you start to gain distress again.
Yeah.
So I will be messing with you wherever I can. And let's see, your first hour contract is
Coronal Flash. I feel like a DBZ character.
Coronal Flash is, with Coronal Flash, you don't necessarily realize that you're even doing it. Most of the times with first hour contracts, this is a thing that manifested after your memory, after your run-in.
Yeah.
Most of the time you don't even know you're doing these things.
Right.
They're just a thing that happens. So with you may spend 1 minute, which you add a minute to your clock,
Right.
and by doing so, right as somebody is swinging or shooting at you, for a fraction of time so fast that the human eye cannot register,
Yeah.
you pulse with the brightness of the sun.
Right.
And that downgrades all of their attack dice for that roll to d6s.
Okay, got it.
All right, and then you,
Is
at
it
1.
challenge?
Yeah, that's what
yes, your challenge.
Unmotivated.
Unmotivated.
It seems to fall. I guess it would be a challenge. I mean,
It's a challenge. With unmotivated, whenever you use seconds to make rerolls or purchase hits, you have to double the cost.
so basically double cost on seconds for most of the basic mechanic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and you may never buy the 5th point of any vocational skill because you just can't muster the energy to do it.
I don't think that'll come up.
Yeah, it won't. Not in this session.
Nope.
And then what is your privilege?
Hardy.
You, this turns out to be really good. If at any point during the run of this game you take a wound, and I'll tell you when that might happen, you may take a minute to ignore it. And since wounds are things like getting your arms torn off, it's really great to have that. We may have to actually bump that privilege down a little bit. It's really powerful. And then reflexive cognition. Reflexive cognition is sort of it's very similar to what he does, but not quite. With reflexive cognition, right as somebody is striking at you, you start to absorb the mental image they have in their brain of where they're going to strike. And that means that you upgrade all of your dodge dice to d8s. So similar, not quite the same, but both of you are pretty hard to hit.
Right.
All right, so let me explain what the clock does since I did not do that. You have obviously 3 sectors on your clock. You have hours, seconds, and minutes. Your hour hand is the description of how far gone you are from the Midnight World's reality. So basically, when you first encounter that thing that happened to you all the way back when, your hour hand clicked forward to 1. And most people in the Midnight World, their hour hand is at 0. They have never encountered that thing, but you guys have. And it clicked your hour hand forward to 1. It's what manifested that dread contract on your sheet, and it is what allows you to kind of have an idea that there's more to this world than you know.
So most of the people in the Midnight World have no clock, essentially?
Right.
Okay.
As you go up in hours, a couple of things happen. The first is that your character progression is tied to your hour hand. You get more powerful the more your hour hand ticks forward. There are also downsides. You get further removed from reality. It's harder to console yourself when you're panicking, things like that. Now, we're not going to tell right now what happens when you hit midnight, because it's not going to happen in this game. But something happens, and it's not, you're too crazy to play. It's devastating. It is probably the death of your entire party. It's not great. But it's something that will take usually a very long time to do. Your minute hand is distress. That is how anxious you are at any given time. One thing about the hour hand, it can always go forward. It can never go back. Minute hand can move around a bit.
Right.
Whenever I say take a minute, you're going to take that D12 that you have monitoring your minutes and you're going to flip it over.
Okay.
Now, it also starts at 1. The mechanical thing that minutes do, and you can gain minutes from seeing something horrible, being exposed to your trauma trigger will start to exponentially gain you minutes the longer you're exposed to it. And you can use powers, and those also gain you minutes. Minutes, for every 2 of them that you have, and you'll see on your sheet a little slot at 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, you add a distress die.
Okay.
Which is a D4, and in just a second I'll explain what those do. Seconds is functionally the same as willpower in other games that you've played. So with seconds, you can spend, at any time, you can spend 2 seconds to give yourself a success on a roll. You can spend 6 seconds to just ignore all of your distress dice for a single roll. And you can spend 6 seconds to re-roll the entire roll.
Okay.
You can only spend 6 seconds in any one turn. Now, you have 12 seconds, not 60, because just for ease's sake.
It's the midnight world. It's
Yeah.
much different.
When you hit 12 seconds, your second hand resets to 1 and your minute hand goes up.
Okay.
When you hit 12 minutes, your minute hand resets to 1 and your hour hand
And
goes up.
Interesting. So you can actually push yourself to get more powerful.
Yeah, and there is that we've seen in one of our playtests we had a player do that, and he actually won the fight. But had we gone any further forward, he'd have been in real trouble because of Kevin. I'm talking about you. So the dice mechanic.
Yes.
So one of the things that we saw when we were playing White Wolf games and also things like Shadowrun, the dice per point system, and this is a dice per point system, but one of the things that we saw is if you are a fantastic concert pianist and you have 4 piano but you're a little clumsy, you've got 1 dexterity, and you go and you sit down and you're going to play Chopin's Nocturnes in front of a crowded auditorium, you have exactly the same chance of succeeding as a guy who has 4 dexterity and kind of knows what a piano is. And that makes no sense to us. So your attributes, and you have 2 sets of attributes, your primary and your secondary, but those attributes up there, those are all D6s.
Okay.
Your skills are all D8s.
Right.
Your target number is usually going to be 5. And we have a system in place where we think the silliest and most boring thing that could happen in any given scenario is that you could fail a thing that your character is good at. We all go into the room and we've got to find the MacGuffin, and if we don't find the MacGuffin, the story can't go forward. So I make you guys all roll, and you all fail the rolls. So I put up my storyteller screen. Oh, I'm rolling a thing for real. Oh, look, you actually did find it after all. So that's not how it works in our game. In our game, if there is 1 success on the table, you more or less did the thing you were trying to do.
Right.
Now, we have degrees of success. Actually, I'm sorry, if there are 0 successes on the table, you more or less did the thing you were trying to do.
Okay.
If there are 0 successes on the table, you did what you were trying to do, but you screwed something else up. I played Nocturne fine, then I stood up, went to take my bow, knocked the thing over, the lid fell on my hand, I smacked my head and I fell down. That's a complicated success. 1 success on the table, you did it. Nothing great or bad happens, you did it. 4 or more successes on the table, phenomenal success. You did wonderfully. Now, what do D4s do? What do these distress dice do? When these distress dice roll 1s, they subtract hits from your roll.
Okay.
If
Subtract
you
successes.
that is correct.
Okay.
If you roll more 1s, and only 1s on distress dice do that. 1s on the rest of your dice pool don't matter.
Okay.
If you roll more 1s on distress dice than you do successes in your roll, you have catastrophically failed.
Okay.
You have critically failed. That is how our system works. So minutes, you'll see, are going to become very important towards the end of the game. Right now, everybody's going to be at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 1 second. And are there any questions before we move forward?
Sounds good.
You said on the sheet it says sixes or higher are successes, but you just said fives.
It's fives.
It's supposed to be fives. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's supposed to say fives.
Do seconds go down at any point? Can you lose seconds?
You can't lose seconds except wrapping them.
So minutes are basically the only thing that can kind of waver out.
And minutes, the minutes you usually, there are other ways, but the number one way to lose minutes is by engaging in your solace trigger.
Okay.
And it has to be like a devoted action. Just like your character just hearing rain in the trees as you walk around, that is not going to work.
Yeah.
It has to be a moment where you can sit and dedicatedly listen.
Right.
And what we do is it is a minute per minute. Every minute that you're exposed to your trauma trigger, you gain a minute. And in character.
Essentially, you lose a minute.
Right, except for with you lose 2 minutes for every one
every
because you're easily consolable.
Okay, cool.
All right, guys. So we're going to move forward. Go ahead.
No, okay. We went over the challenges and privilege. I'm just making sure we hit everything on that. Trauma trigger obviously means minutes are going to go up faster.
Right.
Okay.
The only one thing that I would keep in mind is, so your first 3 attributes are directly tied, very obviously, to their category. Your second 3 attributes, coordination, intuition, resilience. Think about what those words mean, and then if you think that you should be allowed to roll them for something, I usually will hear that argument. For instance, one of the things that we have one of our other players doing is in social situations, he uses coordination because he is coordinating large groups of people to do what he wants, and I usually let him make that roll.
Enough.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you combine attributes and skills when you roll?
Yes.
So you roll them separate.
It's always going to be an attribute and a skill. Now, if you are untrained at something, we usually just allow you to roll the straight D6s because, again, it's kind of hard to fail.
Right.
With anything that you have that you need a specialization in, science, create, etc., you can still roll a science that you're not specialized in. You just roll your skill dice as D6s.
I see.
Okay.
All right? All right, so without further ado, I will tell you guys a brief thing. I'm going to step away for a second and let you guys discuss how you all know each other. So the first thing, Avery, Maine is a small town nestled within the evergreen forests of northern Maine. You guys have probably lived there. I will allow one person to be a transplant, but even he has to have been here for at least 5 years.
Okay.
I'd like to be a transplant. I have an idea.
Okay.
He's a transplant from New Orleans who lived through Katrina.
Oh no. This is the worst place for you to be right now. I love it. So for you guys, you've lived in Avery most of your lives.
Okay.
Avery is, again, a very small town. What I want you guys to do is discuss A, how you know each other, and B, you guys are on your way back from visiting Eagles Point. Last night, it's a nearby town, you went to Eagles Point to see the Looper Green high school football team compete in regionals. But believe it or not, it got rained out.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah. It got rained out. You guys stayed there overnight. It was probably a mistake because now it's about 6 p.m. You're trying to get back to Avery, and the rain is just relentless. So you guys are on the trip back. You're in, for the fun of it, I'm going to say you're in a 1999 Ford Explorer that has seen better days, and you're trying to make it home. Discuss how you know each other. I'm going to run use your restroom real quick.
Okay, that's right. The door to your right.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, don't need this right now.
Now that James is out of the room.
All right. So
you
I chose my medicine specialization to be
frozen.
you froze again?
He's frozen.
Boo.
Yeah.
All right. How?
Hi everyone. Chose my medical specialization to be EMT
Okay.
because I figured that would be like, I don't know, oncology probably would have been like a weird one just for this. I have biochemistry as science because duh. But yeah, so I mean, I'm an EMT, so if it's a small enough town, I might have met you if you got dumb.
Well, no. Actually, yeah, you probably did because I'm a scientist. And obviously, I picked the specialization biology.
I mean, you're probably you probably.
I'm actually a field researcher. That's what I think I am.
Okay, so I mean, it would. Could you say like you do some like I don't know. Maybe we both work out of the same hospital.
Sure.
Just happen.
Yeah, or at least we know each other. Like I go out lots of times. You've met me because I needed to talk. Like I need health records, or I hurt myself, or one of my team hurt myself. Because I'm obviously authority averse and all that. I'm out like I go out into the woods and a survival type guy trying to like find Bigfoot.
We probably just to make it easy then. Our jobs actually probably can't intersect in a sane way. We probably just went to high school together or went to college together.
Yeah, we probably went to high school, and we could say we were high school friends, went to college together, trained in very similar things.
Because, the biochemistry people and the biology people, to my recollection from my time in the sciences, they interacted.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, a lot. And we probably went to a local college.
And I went into the service.
Yeah.
And
you came back.
I went, which actually, interestingly enough, this story is almost one of the stories from one of the characters from R.S. Belcher's Brotherhood of the Wheel. Almost.
So
that
I'll say
story.
my guy is he had a restaurant in New Orleans.
Okay.
So when he moved up to Maine, he just started a bar.
Right.
Okay.
So you guys probably
We probably shoot the shit with you all the time.
This is probably the place one goes after the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go fix your camera real quick.
Okay.
So give me 1 second.
And we'll entertain the audience.
Yeah.
Hello, audience.
Yeah, we just realized that the camera's frozen. We're gonna.
No. Well, we realized it for a bit.
Oh,
We were
I
doing
just
that.
realized.
We're wagging the dog. I don't know.
So, James,
Yes.
to fill you in, what we got is we're high school friends
Because we
that both went to like a local college. He went off to service after college. I stayed. He came back, and
and I'm an EMT from around town.
And I'm a biology field researcher, so I'm an environmental researcher. I go out into the woods because I don't want to be around my boss or my boss's boss. So, and I'm a tough guy.
Life imitates
Right on.
art, eh?
But
Art imitates life. Life imitates art.
So basically, like real life. Yeah.
I wish
100%.
I wish I was the man getting the water
yeah,
out of the ponds.
yeah. And so I'm a collector. I do field research, also looking for Bigfoot. And he. Scott's character owns the local bar.
Okay.
After Katrina, he came up here. He used whatever money he had. He started a bar, and we've become friends.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because this is where we all go after the job.
The job. All right. So I was going to pull up a document that I can read from because I actually wrote this whole thing, and I'm very proud of me for having done it. Really, honestly, I'm proud of me.
Once I hear it, I might be proud of you too.
I'll be meh about it. I'm going to prejudge you.
That's fair. That's fair. No, you should. Yeah.
We are on the internet right now, so I suppose that's the only. Wait, no, there's only two reactions on the internet. You either set it on fire or praise it like it's the second coming of Jesus. It's
Or there's three, or you masturbate to it.
well, that's you can do one while the other is
You can.
happening.
That's more of a combo.
Yeah, that's the Venn diagram, the overlap.
A wombo combo.
A wombo combo. Oh God.
Someone
Look.
post that Venn diagram to the chat, please.
Oh Jesus.
Wombo combo.
All right. So yeah, according to my group, we're back. We're moving again. All right, everybody. We're just waiting for Scott to get back, and we're gonna get underway with the.
Let's get sad.
Let's get scared and also sad.
So you imagine in the Midnight World, a lot of these scenarios in basic play is more like episodic stories. Like, hey, you're doing a thing, kind of like a Lovecraftian story.
True.
That a thing has happened, you have to go deal with it, or you have to go discover it, and then it sort of resolves itself.
Do you expect this game to
long-term play, that kind of stuff.
Is this game built for long-term play, really?
absolutely.
Okay, I don't know actually how long the economy.
We actually the last playtest we ran, we started everybody at 3 p.m. and 3 p.m. contracts cost 2 minutes to use, and we said try to get to 6 p.m. by the end of this session. The session was 3 hours. Nobody got any further than 4. Now, we did have a certain player, Kevin, who figured out a way to get his character from 1 o'clock to about 3 o'clock in about 15 minutes. But we have since filled that hole in.
That's what
Right,
playtesting
fair
is
enough.
for, man.
But that's very interesting because I can see them being episodic. But now that I'm seeing once after experience, I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty obvious that it can be designed for.
Also, you could do a really sick one shot and start
Sure.
everyone late in the day and just like, well, we're gonna 10 candles this motherfucker. And
Well,
everyone's
so
gonna
I
die.
can tell you guys that one of the big ideas we have is that campaigns will end and at the end of the campaign, you'll start up the next season, which the first season will have had ramifications on where the second season is at.
Right.
But it's the same show but a different story.
Yeah.
Cool.
And usually different characters. But I'm going to go ahead and get started.
Cool,
I am
let's
going
do
to
it.
tell you guys one more thing real quick, just in case this happens. If your character drops to 0 health, your character is not dead.
Okay.
In this game, the storyteller cannot kill the player's character without the player's consent. You have 3 options. Option number 1 we call Fighting the Dread. Fighting the Dread is you describe in heroic detail how your character dies, but in so doing shows everybody else something inspiring or just pisses everybody else off enough that they redouble their efforts and everybody else at the table's minute hand drops back to 1.
Okay, cool. All right.
2, you can decide to wait it out. You hit the floor, when the fight is over, you stand up, you roll on the wound chart, and you go on about your business.
Right.
If everybody at the table falls, same thing. The monsters are not going to coup de grace you. They're going to win that fight. They're going to do what they were trying to do, and then you're all going to roll on the wound table and keep going.
Okay.
Option 3 is giving in to the dread. You and I can have a conversation in another room about something the dread being that's got its hooks in you would like for you to do. And if you agree, you will pop back up to full health in the middle of the fight.
Oof.
Yeah, so
Hey, let's
Avery is the typical quaint northeastern hamlet. It's a quiet little town nestled comfortably in the evergreen embrace of northern Maine's endless coniferous forests. A handful of wealthy residents have built impressive estates on the shores of Lake Canderley, the town's picturesque centerpiece, but most families have found themselves riding the outer edge of an economic downturn. Avery used to make millions a year on high-quality exported lumber, but demand has fallen as more and more consumers have recently begun seeking ecologically sustainable sources. These families tend to occupy the clusters of medium to low-income housing that lay just outside of the town's market area, out towards the high school. The small businesses that once thrived there have felt the pinch too. These days, near about every third window on the square is shuttered. There are still quite a few shops open, though, along with a couple of restaurants and a handful of bars. Townsfolk gather just about every night on the small main strip, coming together more out of a sense of boredom than any real sense of community. Even for the decay creeping up around the baseboards, Avery is a beautiful town. Not that you can see it, of course. Not that you can see anything. You guys are coming back along this main highway, and it is pouring. You're driving your 1999 Ford Explorer. You've driven in rain before, but never like this. I mean, it rains every season. Avery gets storms pretty regularly this time of year. As warm water moves up from the coast, hits the cool air coming down from Canada. This one, though, is unlike anything you guys have ever experienced before. It's been going on ever since about 6 p.m. last night, so for about 24 straight hours it's been going. It hasn't abated at all. The radio, you can kind of hear, you're on an FM band because Sirius is not going to care about your town.
Yeah.
So you guys, checking updates on your phones and listening to the radio, you guys will hear that estimates right now have put it at dumping 2 feet of water into Avery itself. And Avery is built almost, like the town sector is almost in a bowl, so there are some reports of pretty heavy flooding. So you guys are driving.
Yeah, at one point he probably was driving, and once the flooding starts, he's like, I can't.
Nah,
Where you guys are driving now, you're not really in the floods yet. It's
Yeah.
gross, but
Just the fact that it's happening.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually probably driving because I probably like the rain and driving, and probably my beat up truck, and I'm just driving down the road.
I'm freaking out mildly because I'm pretty sure I should be at work right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're definitely supposed to be at work. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Don't worry, tell your boss the rain will hold you up. It's probably going to hold up everyone.
You tried to call, but you're not getting any signal.
Okay.
I need you. You guys are driving. You're chatting. You're chatting about some plays that you saw last night, etc. I'm going to ask you to make a drive plus coordination roll. I don't recall telling you that you had drive.
Nope.
So just coordination.
So just
Am I the only guy? Am I the only one with drive?
Yeah, I guess so, but it's my car.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So I just rolled
Didn't think it was
56,
gonna
right?
matter.
Yep.
Didn't think it would matter.
I got 1-6.
Okay. So that means you got a normal success. you are able to swerve out of the way. You're not able to stop yourself from hitting it because of plot fiat.
Thank
But
you for being honest about that.
you're welcome. But you are able to keep yourself from flipping over the embankment. Normally you would keep an eye out for stuff like this, but especially with the lights sort of getting low and it raining and you being a little anxious about the whole thing and trying to keep him calm and trying to keep him calm, and you're the center of the storm, and you see the flash of movement coming from the driver's side of the road just before you hit it.
Okay.
And you know, I mean, you've lived here long enough to know it's a freaking moose.
Yeah, no.
So you sort of spin the wheel so that you broadside it so that you don't hit it on and go through your windshield.
Yep.
And you're able to do that. And, your truck is 100% still drivable because you succeeded on your roll. But that moose is, you hit it and it rolls down the road probably a good 15 feet and it's just laying in the center of the road motionless.
Everyone all right?
Shit.
Yeah, there's a cigarette out.
All right, hold on.
I know you don't want me to smoke in your truck, man, but you just hit a fucking moose.
Yeah, I know. Problem is, it's gonna get up and get real fucking pissed.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty sure
probably
I didn't kill it.
It's probably still alive.
God damn it! And he's actually gonna, he's probably gonna pull up his poncho and grab. He probably has like a rifle in the back for just this occasion.
I'm 100% okay with you having a rifle. On the back of your sheet under weapons,
Yeah.
I want you to go ahead and write that rifle. Damage value is going to be 4.
Okay.
Property is going to be aiming.
Aiming. Okay.
Yeah.
Aim. Got it.
All right. So with an aim, what that means is that if you take an entire turn action to do nothing but fire that rifle, you upgrade all of your dice to D8s for that shot.
Okay, so even my normal stats. Got it.
So, but you pull the rifle out of the back of the truck. It's pouring.
Yeah,
and
he's got it's rain everywhere. You can barely see the lights coming off the tailpipe.
Is anybody going up to the moose with him?
No.
No.
I'll be back in a second, guys. I've done it before,
Okay.
so I'll cautiously go up to this moose.
You cautiously go up, and you do see that there's sort of ragged breathing coming from it, but you also hear that sound of agonal respiration. You know that the moose is going to die, and technically is already dead. Its body is still just trying to draw breath.
Yeah.
As you get near it, you see that final last inhalation and exhalation and the sort of steam puff away from it, and you're like, okay, well, at least I don't have to do this myself. But then I want you to make we're going to call this one, what's funny is that even though I wrote the game, I still have to have a character sheet in front of me so that I...
It's a thing.
Have no problem, James. Do not feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Just everyone.
There are people who run Exalted who would still have to do this.
I would like you to make, we're going to call this a nature plus intuition roll, because you definitely...
I do have nature plus intuition.
I know.
Yeah, nature is D8, and my intuition is 3. Actually, I'm pretty good at this.
Me not smart.
I need 5s or better.
Yep.
I got 1 success.
Okay. So again, 1 success is going to be a normal success, and then the moose meows.
If you hear a cat, it's just because we have the door closed.
I think generally people can't hear the cats. So,
99% sure.
So now they have no idea what we're talking
Yeah,
about. Okay, so as you get closer to it, the first thing you see is, it's not uncommon to see the, an animal, especially a wild animal, that's got some sort of flora on it. But this is not flora that is on this moose. There are vines wrapped all the way around this moose. They're wrapped around its legs. They're sort of digging into its hooves.
Like it's almost coming out of it too.
Like and it's wrapped all the way around the moose's neck. And you realize that you hitting the moose is not what killed it. These vines choked it.
Yeah, he's probably there. We got like a flashlight, with the rifle slung under his arm, and he's looking at it going, what the fuck? And he's like, you should come out and see this.
It's wet. Fine.
He just
all right, puts the jacket on, comes out,
collar popped up.
cigarette goes out from the fucking rain.
Get my damn poncho.
All right.
And I do.
Do me a favor and write your trauma triggers on your tent card I can remember to bother you.
Yeah, I come out, I don't really look at it, because I don't really, That's just I've seen dead animals and I don't really like looking at them, but like so.
Yeah, this is dead, but
So when I come up, it takes me maybe about a good 10 seconds to actually look and see what the fuck is happening, and then I'm just.
So I guess we should move it. Is that?
No, it's
What the ever loving fuck?
plants don't do that.
Oh.
I didn't kill it. That did. As he points like at the literal strangling vines around it.
Oh. I suppose that's true.
Fucked up. All right. I just wanted to show you because I didn't want to thought I was going crazy. So.
You got a shovel or something?
No, we can drive around it. It's fine.
Oh.
You actually really can't drive around it.
Okay. Yeah, grab its fucking antlers. We're gonna have to haul it.
Are the vines still connected to anything?
The vines are connected. They're not connected to anything other than the animal itself. Okay. But one of the vines, the more that you look at it, I want you to make a, we're going to call this one a wit, or let's call it vigilant. Nah, let's call it wit.
Okay.
No. We're going to call it vigilance. This is going to be a vigilance plus intuition roll.
Okie dokie. Which are D6s? I'm actually...
Hey, Jim, I see you out there saying that chat is active. Please engage that chat because I can't. So if anybody asks any questions, feel free to answer them for me.
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on chat, but...
Jim is the other developer. He's watching, so he can actually answer questions for us.
Love our
That
mods.
is 3 successes.
3 successes. Very good. Okay, so you'll see that one of these vines, about the thickness of my pinky, is moving. And it is working itself into the moose's eye.
Oh dear.
And as you're watching that, the moose's eye calcifies, just like almost like it's freezing over, and in its place where the eye, the normal looking eye was, it looks like almost like a faceted amber gem replaces it. And when
I'm backing up.
Excellent.
I'm not going. I'm going.
And
What?
As that happens,
I'm just getting back to the fucking car.
As that
How are we
happens,
gonna move it?
who was by the head? You're by the head, obviously. Well, you're the one supposed to grab the antler.
Yeah, I think so. I think I was supposed to grab the
So what is going to happen is, as you're doing that, the moose swings its antlers backwards and is going to try to hit you with them.
Ugh.
Now, there's no soak mechanic in this game. You are going to roll your coordination plus your reaction. Coordination plus reaction.
I
to
think I am
dodge.
going to use my madness angle, just because, hey, why not?
Okay.
So that costs a minute.
It cost a minute, so
Okay.
yeah, update your minute to 2.
Okay.
And actually, go ahead and update your minute to 3 because you saw all the weird vine things.
Didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Now, do remember that going forward, if you just put a little check in that distressed eye
Oh,
because
okay.
you got 1.
Would I have gotten up to 2 as well since I saw the vines?
You haven't seen them wriggling under the eye yet.
Okay, got it.
So you don't worry, you're going to get it soon.
Yes.
So when you do that, everything almost, if you've seen that cool effect in movies where everything slows way down, and suddenly the reason that you take a minute, the reason that the distress starts to pile on is because a nearly infinite number of visions from just microns to the left or right are starting to push themselves into your brain. And it is very painful on an existential level, but at the same time, you do notice things you didn't notice before. The thing that you most clearly notice is that off kind of in the woods, there are 3 what look like dogs that are sort of stalking through the woods beside you, and they are almost completely covered in these vines.
Oh boy. So what am I rolling?
You're rolling coordination plus reaction to avoid being hit by
Reaction.
this moose.
Oh my.
And don't forget you can use seconds like willpower, so you can use it for rerolls and the like.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
We normally recommend people wait until after they see the roll.
Yeah.
So, but did that? What did that do mechanically? The
Madness angle,
Madness-
it just lets you see anything mundanely hidden, lets you see anything supernaturally hidden, and lets you get any plot information that you
Oh,
haven't
okay.
gotten.
I thought it did something with dice rolls about getting.
No, those
me and
theirs
his
do.
Oh, okay. I
Me and
saw
his
that.
too.
So I got a success.
Okay, so you got 1. I got 2, which means that I got a net success, and the damage on his antlers we're going to say is 2, so that's you're going to take 3 damage, and you're going to be knocked back. Well, you don't actually take damage from his antlers. He throws you, and you sort of your back hits the hood of the car, and that's what causes the damage. And the moose scrambles to his feet, and then continues to stand up. And it is now standing on its rear legs, walking towards you.
Oh, fuck.
And not you. You've already seen this, but you two take a minute.
Take a minute.
Because
I'm gonna take a minute.
Yeah,
You know
take a
what I'm
minute.
saying?
Take a minute.
You get that distress out
What?
there.
And I'm just like, fucking dogs in the fucking car.
Yeah, that is the rifle is out, up, and it's probably just a blind shot. Like
Okay. So what is your actual intent? Is your intent to kill this thing or to just get the hell? Because it's not moving very fast. You could
no,
probably
it's
get
to
away.
Shoot it, to shoot it because he's freaked out.
Okay. So I will go ahead and make my little tiny I can barely dodge, and you can make your firearms.
Well, how does that work?
Firearms plus coordination. Since
Right,
you don't
not have firearms, so it's just coordination.
just raw coordination.
Okay, so it's d6s. Ooh, I think that double ones action. I'm going to go ahead and put 6 seconds for a reroll.
So what you might want to do with the 6 seconds in a situation like this is just add 3 successes to your roll.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Yes, add 3 successes.
3 successes.
All right,
So that's a total of
3.
3. Okay, so you easily hit this thing.
Yeah.
You snap to your hip and fire and peg it right in the face. And you do actually 7 total damage to it.
Yeah, it's 4 plus the 3 if it got no successes. Yeah.
So it's you don't kill it.
Yeah.
You can see that it's still moving, but it's also trying to walk on these hooves upright, which its body just can't really do. So it staggers back and slips and falls and tumbles down the embankment.
Okay. But go! He's just like now getting back into the truck.
Yeah,
And just run.
I'm trying to scramble into the car.
Fuck.
My shoulder's a little fucked up.
Okay.
But like wrench it open, get in, and just like I'm screaming, "There's more! There's fucking more! Get in!"
Yeah, I assume we're all getting in
I'm
the car.
actually, let me drive. And I'll just jump in.
Yeah, I'll take.
I assume you're driving with a high rate of speed.
Indeed.
All right, so go ahead and
Quickly.
make me a coordination and drive roll.
Oh, good. Something I know
Just
how to
make
do.
sure you don't, and don't forget to go ahead and include your distress die.
I will.
Yeah.
I am distressed.
So when do we take distress?
So every time your minute hand hits a number divisible by 2, so 2,
Okay,
4,
so I
6,
already
8,
have
10.
one.
Yep, you have
Yep.
1.
Okay. So we gotta hold this little guy right here. Okay. Oh, I think I got 1 success.
Okay, so that's fine. But you pedal to the metal, you spin out a little bit, but you will see that the dogs are keeping up. They're not attacking, they're just keeping up.
They're pacing us.
And he's probably going 45 or 50, and they're keeping up.
And that's fast for this weather because
It's
still,
very fast.
Yeah,
Still
I will point the dogs out to you.
What the fuck? And I'm gonna actually actively look for these dogs now.
So go ahead and make a vigilance plus intuition roll,
Right.
and they're starting to fade because they just blend so well into the background that now you're starting to. Now you're like, did I even
actually
really see those? Yeah, but no, you totally see them though. They're there.
Oh, they're there. They're there.
So you guys have a few different places you can go from here. You can all try to go home, but it's probably going to be difficult because the last report you heard, the radio's for whatever reason now completely static. But the last you heard, there's a lot of flooding in downtown, so getting through downtown is going to be hard.
Right.
On this side of where all of that flooding is, your best bet is probably going to be the police station. It's maybe another 5 miles and then up the hill a little bit, and that's the Avery
I
Police
definitely
Department.
would know where that is.
Definitely.
So I will
Yeah.
probably default to that.
Yeah, you
Okay.
probably defaulted. You didn't even ask us to do
Like,
it.
they have guns.
Okay, cool. So you guys peel out, and you're just trying your best not to panic any further from what you're seeing, and you get to the police department. You drive up the hill, and it's kind of like as you get there, you have to drive up and around, and it's the Avery Police Department overlooks the town. And normally from this overlook, you'd be able to see the town, but with the rain right now, you can't even really
watching
see it.
over us all.
So when you get there, the two things that you'll notice first and foremost is that there is no power at the police station.
Oh,
And that is probably because the generator looks like it has been hit by lightning. It is on fire. The metal casing is on fire. And so when you come up to the police department, if you're looking at it, this is the front of the building. This is the parking area. Right here is a probably 1974 Dodge Bronco equipped with a winch kit and lifts.
Yeah.
And it's a police department vehicle, but it's clearly built for difficult terrain. And then here's the generator. It's about the size of a small car, and it's on fire. And the doors, the glass doors, are broken and hanging open, and all the lights are out in the police department.
So as we hit the stop, I take a second and I'm just very quietly like, all right, hands up who saw the moose walk on 2 feet. Okay, good.
Hands off who saw fucking plant wolves.
There were plant wolves?
Yeah,
Okay,
get
yeah,
inside
that's
as,
right.
as he's
That's
like...
right, that's right. Plant wolves. Okay, I'm on board for plant wolves. We can do plant wolves. Okay.
All right,
Fuck. What's that? Why is
it's
it
on fire.
Why is it on
Fucking
fire?
Christ.
Why is everything broken?
Now, where the generator is, it looks like it is far enough away that it's not going to set the police department on fire.
Right.
And it looks like the diesel tank already caught.
Yeah.
So there's really no saving the
Why
generator.
the fuck are the windows, like, as he's, like,
Yeah, the
looking
doors
at
are-
it and the windows are blown out. I was like, what the fuck? All right. We gotta get inside.
You gotta.
'cause-
Okay, man. Since we're officially off the fucking deep end here, do you have a fire axe or something in the back?
Shit, no. I got, like, he's got, like, a hand axe. He's probably got a small survival kit in the back.
I'll take it.
Okay. So go ahead and under weapons, I want you to write hand axe.
That's not how you spell hand, Ryan.
Gavin, I swear to God, I'm going to get you this module tomorrow.
Hey, Aaron, you doing all right? You don't look too good.
So it's going to be damage value is
Fucking
2,
hit the goddamn.
God.
and quality is concealable.
Okay. Probably.
Phil, when we get inside, you gotta look at his shoulder.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna actually turn around while they're like kind of doing all this stuff. I'm gonna look to see if I still see those wolves and if they're still coming this way.
You don't see them.
Okay.
So you guys sort of get into the front, and I assume you've got your headlights playing on the front entrance.
Yeah.
It sort of illuminates it through the rain. You said you have a survival kit, so you have probably a big flashlight.
Yeah.
You get in, you come in and your feet crunch on the broken glass from the glass doors, and you got some illumination from the headlights and from your flashlight, but also the light from the fire, from the the sort of orange flickering firelight from the generator, and you walk in and it is dead empty. There is nobody in the lobby. You can see that the doors that are supposed to be locked and closed have been torn off the hinges and are laying on the ground. The only thing that is giving any sound other than the crunching of your feet in the broken glass is it sounds like the radio is active. And it's back behind the glass. You'd have to go through the offices and come in through a door behind that glass. You're pretty sure you know how to get there, but you hear what sounds like somebody on the radio. It's turned down very quiet. You can't really make out what she's saying, but you hear somebody talking on the radio.
And just looking around, it's like,
This is fucking Raccoon City. What the fuck's going on?
I don't know. All right. Let's take a second.
Okay.
Second.
You're right.
The wolves aren't coming up.
All right.
I did say those wolves.
Travis,
I know I saw.
just cover us for a second. I
Alright.
need to look at Aaron's shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Take it.
And I'll just do a general check over, see if it's out of the socket.
It's not. It's deeply bruised. It's going to be sore as hell tomorrow, but it should be functional.
I'm not gonna say tough it out, but you're gonna have to kind of tough it out. It's fine. You'll be okay.
Nothing
It's all
broken.
right. It's all right.
No. If it would be in a way where I wouldn't be able to tell right now. So don't punch anything with it.
I will avoid punching.
All right.
Goddamn.
We need to find you something.
I swear if this is like some prank or we're on hallucinogens, I'm gonna punch someone in the face.
Hey, okay, I'm just bad acid one time. All right, dude, come on. You gonna keep bringing that up?
Yes?
Okay. Fuck.
It wasn't a good time.
Me either.
Look,
But regardless, somebody's on the radio, so let's go take a look at it.
Let's go.
are we gonna get in the shit for being here? I mean, what the fuck?
I do not care right now.
I point up at the camera. See a little blinky light? No blinky light.
All
No
right.
cameras.
Also, door ripped off hinges.
Generator on fire.
Walking moose.
Perambulating moose.
In my experience, the cops don't fucking care, like about the technicalities.
I've spoken to them. They don't care about much at all. But especially not the ones around here. They're probably dealing with the shit in there. And moose.
Well, you can see that most of the other trucks are gone from the parking lot. So most likely, most of the cops are out trying to like get people to safety during
there's
flooding.
10 of them. It's a small town.
It's a very small town.
Yeah.
There's probably 10 of them and probably 4 of these trucks, and all 4 or 3 of those trucks are gone.
Right, so we have one other truck.
Yeah.
Which may not be in functioning shape because why would it be here if it was?
You also know that behind that glass is a pegboard that usually has the truck keys. So if there are keys to that truck, they'd be back there too.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right,
All
well,
right,
let's see what
time
we
for
can
some
do.
breakfast and entertainment, boys.
All right, so you go through that door, and you come into what is the office area. So usually the cops have their desks and their lockers, they're not their lockers, their desks and their file cabinets set up here, and you walk through, and it's just dead silent. Yes, and you can see that the back door through where you're at, you can see all the way through to the break room, and the break room has a back door that leads out to where the dog kennels are, and you can see that the back door is wide open. And then over here to this side
Fine dogs.
is over here to this side is the door where the keyboard,
Yeah.
the pegboard and the radio are.
Okay, well, I'm going to make okay. Let's keep an eye out for vine dogs. I'm going to check the radio.
Okay, so you go there, and the first thing you'll notice is that there are keys on the pegboard. The key to that truck is there.
Yoink.
There's also a key that looks, it's got like it's a thick steel key, and it's got like a black plastic head to it, and it looks like it's for something important, but you're not really necessarily sure what it might be too. It's got a symbol like a shield on it, and the radio. You turn it up, and you immediately recognize Sandy Church's voice. Now, Sandy Church and her husband own the Avery Historical Museum. Don't yell at me, Jim. I swear I had this memorized, and then I didn't anymore. The Avery Museum and Historical Society. And what that is, the Old Town Avery Museum and Historical Society is 1000% not a museum. It is a little kit shop that sits in the middle of the town. And everybody here who's ever lived in a small town knows that shop because we all have one.
Right.
And it's got books by local authors about the history of the town, and it's got
like two glass things in glasses that are like, oh, this is the pseudo-famous thing.
Right. It's got the map of the town.
Yeah.
It's got some handmade items from artisans around the town. And it's got a big resin model sitting in the middle that is the model of Old Town Avery, because you probably don't know this, but you guys do know that Avery is not the first iteration of the town. It's the second. The original Old Town Avery was actually underneath where Lake Canderley is now. At some point, they dammed up the river, they made a lake, and they rebuilt Avery.
Right.
But so they've got the model of the old town, that cool resin model that I know I as a kid absolutely loved. But Sandy and her husband Mark run it, and that is Sandy on the radio. And when you turn it up, you hear her say, "Oh my God, somebody please, I need help. I think Mark is having a heart attack. Why isn't anybody answering the radio?"
Fuck. Okay.
I'm looking for a shotgun, by the way.
You find the armory, but it's locked.
Fuck.
And I wave the key.
You open the armory.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
Get me a biggin. And I just
And I'll tell you what's in there in a second.
Hey, Sandy. This is Philip Emery.
Dr. Emery?
That's very nice of you to say. But
Are you not a doctor?
I'm a doctor. I went EMT room.
All right, Philip, oh my God, you got to get down here. I think Mark is having a heart attack, and we can't get out. We're trapped in the floodwaters. We need help.
How many feet up is it, sweetie?
It's up to our waist.
Oh, Jesus. Have you seen anything? Hey, have you seen anything weird swimming around, perhaps?
I mean, all of the stuff that was our stock is swimming around in here. Our store is ruined. Half the town is underwater.
Okay.
You got to get down here, Philip. You got to help us.
I will do what I can to get some sort of boat together. I don't know if the police have one, but we are on a lake, so maybe.
I know where a boat is.
You guys will, or you will. Well, you definitely will know. You're an EMT. That truck outside has a fording kit. That truck can get there.
Okay. Like, Sandy, sweetie, we're gonna do what we can to get to you as quickly as we can.
Oh, you're a godsend. You got to get down here. Thank heavens! I can't wait. Philip, we'll be waiting for you. Is there anything I can do right now?
Bar the doors.
Oh. She doesn't hesitate. I hesitated. She's like, okay, I'll do that right now if that'll help.
It likely will.
Okay.
Like, give her aspirin or something? Like,
Oh yeah, aspirin. Do you guys have aspirin? Give him.
I
aspirin.
do. I'll go get some right now.
Good call, man. Turn off. Moose. Moose.
I get it.
So the armory has the following items in it.
Okay.
It has one full set of riot gear that they
boy.
bought,
so
and it's
sorry,
only
everyone.
it's only the one set of riot
And
gear.
it only fits one of them. Like it
Well,
wasn't
it'll
size
fit anybody, but it's really on a display rack right now because
Still
there-
has the plastic. You can peel that shit
there
off.
are 3 sets of Kevlar.
Okay.
You
that
cannot wear both. If somebody wants to wear the riot armor, you can, or you can all wear Kevlar, or you don't have to in any of it.
I'll take Kevlar.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably just take the Kevlar because that sounds.
Fuck
like
you, I'm taking the riot armor.
Okay, you have the riot armor.
All right, if you want to drown.
There is a.
You're right. I should just take the Kevlar.
He takes the Kevlar.
Bloodwise.
There are there's 2 handguns. There is a police baton.
I'll take the baton because I already have a rifle.
Okay. The baton is going to be damage value 2,
Okay.
and special quality or quality is just concealable. There are 2 shotguns, and there's an AR-15.
Well, I don't have any weapon proficiencies whatsoever.
I think none of us do.
Despite my basic training. So I was a pretty shit soldier, apparently.
I'll
Well,
take the handgun and a shotgun.
Okay. So for handgun, I want you to write damage quality, or I'm sorry, damage value is 3, quality is concealable. And for the shotgun, damage is 4, and quality is staggering. What that means is if at any point you're able to apply more than 5 or more damage on a single hit, the thing that you hit loses its next movement action. It cannot move during the next round because you drive it to its knees.
Okay, and what's the rating for the Kevlar?
The Kevlar's armor rating is 2.
So I'll take a handgun also.
Damage value is 3.
Yep, and concealable.
Yep.
So I got hatchet and pistol.
I'm going to make a recommendation here. You absolutely do not have to follow my recommendation, but somebody should probably take that AR.
I'll take
You can upgrade it from the rifle.
That's what I was thinking
I'll
about.
take the rifle. You take the AR.
Yeah, I give you the rifle.
You know how to. You have firearms skills.
No, I don't.
Okay.
None of us have firearms
Nope.
skills.
Okay, so it's just point and click for everybody.
Yep,
Got
point and click. So the
take-
Always,
AR,
but he pulls out and he goes, I always wanted to do this. He just racks it.
nice. So the AR is damage 4, quality is armor piercing.
Okay, so it's the same damage, it's just has, instead of
Yep.
aim, it has armor piercing.
Yeah, most of your standard weapons are going to have the same. It's going to be 4 damage, but we have a whole list of qualities that
Right.
apply differently. With armor penetrating or armor piercing, it ignores up to 3 points of armor, and since armor really only goes up to 5, that is going to be super helpful if any of the things that you may encounter have any armor. I don't
They
know.
wouldn't possibly. I don't know, bark skin?
Maybe. Okay,
Could
so
happen.
where are we going from here?
All right, she needed help. I'd like to get to the town where other people are because obviously this is happening out in the woods.
Well, man's having a heart attack in town, and I have a job, so I have to do my job.
No, you're right.
We
You're
gotta
right.
take the. We gotta take their. We're taking their truck
Well, duh.
because mine's not gonna fucking make
How
it.
does the fording kit work?
It has a thing. You
It
can
has
just
a
drive.
thing.
Well, it has is what it is. Part of it's a snorkel.
Yeah.
So essentially,
The engine can operate while submerged.
Yep,
Got it.
correct.
exactly.
The air intake is there,
It's
not
air-
up, not
and
the
it's
grill.
airtight. So
Yep.
got it. Okay, so let's turn this puppy on. See if it turns on.
Okay.
If it cranks.
Okay. It cranks just fine. Well, hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
There,
yeah.
Some things happen between
That's
leaving
all right.
the front door.
If all things being equal, we are going to attempt to leave now.
Okay, you attempt to leave. It is super ineffective. So you guys walk out to the truck and you get the truck. This is not one of the. I mean, like I said, this thing is probably made in the 70s. You got to insert the key and turn it. But the first thing you notice when you get there is that the right front tire is blown. Now it does have, or it's not blown, it's torn apart. It looks like it may have been hit by a piece of the shrapnel off of the generator.
So, yeah.
And it is, the vehicle does have run flats. You probably can drive, but it's going to be real dicey driving in this floodwater.
Does it have a full spare?
Full spare right on the back.
That
Up
5
to-
minutes. 5 minutes. We got this.
Up 2 boys.
So he's gonna hut it and
yeah,
go
I'm
over
gonna do
there,
it. I'm
grab the full. Start.
What type of roll? Like, who do you think? I'm strong.
I have mechanics.
Oh, fuck
Yeah, we're gonna and if you have mechanics, I'm not even gonna make you roll for
Yeah.
replacing a tire.
Yeah.
But while he's doing that, I'm gonna have you roll a vigilance and intuition roll.
Okay. I have lots of vigilance. That is. Oh no! What? Why am I rolling
That is
d4?
That's a
The
lot of
incorrect
d4s.
That's not. But I do roll at least one of them.
Yes.
Got to remember to roll a d4s. That's one thing I haven't been doing.
1, 2, 3 successes.
Okay. So basically, look at the parking lot as if it's this sheet of paper, and this is the front of the building, and this is where the car is, and this is the generator. Right around this corner of the building, you see what looks like a German Shepherd snout stick out, and it looks like maybe from where you're standing, it looks like maybe one of the police dogs, and you can't. It doesn't want to get near you. It seems like it's real suspicious of you, or maybe it's hurt or something, but it kind of, you see its head sort of checking you guys out and kind of like down low towards the ground. And yeah, it's not approaching you guys, it's just sort of checking you out as if it's scared of you.
Guys, we got a German Shepherd. It doesn't look ornery. It looks scared.
Oh, leave the
Is
fuck
that
be.
Bosco?
So there are 3 dogs that the police station has: Hightower, Smith, and Brutus.
Okay. Hightower, Smith, and Brutus.
If you know the dogs, you want to go.
No.
I will try. I'll be like, Brutus? Like,
And you'll see that the ears sort of perk when you say Brutus.
is that you, buddy? Hey, Brutus.
He doesn't seem like he's willing to come closer to you.
That's
Like
okay.
he'll take like a step forward, then a step back.
Does he look okay? Like, is he? I'll try to get an eye line of him. Or at
Okay.
least I'll stay low though.
Okay, so about how close do you think you want to get to him?
How far are we from him physically right now?
25 yards.
Okay, I'll approach by about 25 feet and
Okay.
over to the left a little bit and see if I can look at him and see him at all.
Okay.
I know the drain's probably fucking me up. But
So when you get to that, you do have a good line of sight on him. I want you to go ahead and roll that. We're going to make this one a investigation plus intuition roll.
oh boy, intuition. Let's see, do I have that? I do. Wait, do I? No, not very well. Investigation, eh?
Yeah.
That's one I don't have.
Oh no.
So, am I correct in my pool is this?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Don't forget to bunch your seconds.
He got it.
Oh yeah. Let's see if you. Yeah, because right now you may have a complicated success, which I'll let you. I'll say you had a complicated success, which means you do see the thing, but usually something bad happens. You can spend seconds. You could spend 2 seconds and make it a normal success.
I believe I have to do double, right, for that because my unmotivated.
You do. You have to spend 4 because you're unmotivated. Or you could take your chances with whatever I might do to you.
Screw it. Let's just use some mechanics. Let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Spend
All
that
right.
stuff.
They're there for us to use.
Spend that 4. Now it's a success.
It is. So you've got the success, and that means that as you get closer to him and you kind of lean in and Brutus, and he leans forward, and just the way that the flashlight and the light from the generator fire brush off of him, his eyes move in a certain way, and you realize that they're not eyes. They're stones. They're amber stones. And right about the time you notice that, and I assume start to backtrack, you get hit from the side from the dog that nobody looked for.
Ah, damn it.
So
Tactics.
we're going to enter combat.
Yay.
The way that combat works is everybody is going to start by rolling their coordination plus their reaction,
Okay.
and that is going to be your
Coordination
and that initiative.
and reaction as well. Okay.
Yep. So
Boop. Boop.
Okay.
And okay, so fat 0.
Oh my god.
And remember that D4 rolls on everything that you
Okay,
do.
sure. Let me roll my D4.
Yep.
Nope, I'm good.
Cool.
1 success.
All right.
Thank you for reminding me.
No worries. Travis, what'd you roll?
Travis got 0.
0. That's fine. 0, and even catastrophic failures don't rob you of everything. A
Right.
catastrophic failure will rob you of 1 turn.
Yeah.
2.
2. So you actually, the way that we do this is that even though all of the dogs also go on 2, because you're a player, you all always go before me.
Okay.
So you get the opportunity to react as you see what looks like Hightower rushing you from the left.
Well, I guess I just try to, like, as he is diving for me, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I will put my gun out in that general direction and shoot when it looks like it's near his head.
All right, right on. So I want you to go ahead and roll your coordination because you don't have firearms.
Yay. Just my coordination.
Now, a lot of people will notice that for monsters don't ever seem to roll d4s. They don't. They also can't spend seconds, though.
Right,
So
right.
that's the balance. They don't have clocks.
They are the clock.
Okay, well, I did pretty well, actually. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Hold up. Sorry. It's not 4 that... Wait, was that cocked? I don't know.
It was, but...
It was cocked. Fuck
Roll it again. I don't mind.
Okay, good enough.
Weird. So for those watching at home, he had a 4. It was cocked. I told him to roll again. He rolled a 4.
Yeah, well,
So you got 1, but I got 0. So that means that you got
I do a
net
shoot.
hit, and your damage value on the handgun is 3. That means you did 4 damage. So you turn like, holy crap, and you fire the gun. And when you do, he's in mid-leap. And you catch him right, directly in his sternum, and he sort of, his momentum is already carrying him towards you, so he just kind of slaps past you and tumbles on the ground and doesn't move again.
Aw, Hightower.
Yep, and now Smith and Brutus are real mad.
Fuck my ears.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Turns out guns are fucking loud.
Smith is going to attack you, or Brutus is going to attack you. Smith is going to try to grab you.
Okay.
So you guys are going to roll. It's the same roll as your initiative. It's coordination, reaction. Roll your dodge.
Coordination, reaction.
Distress.
Yeah. Oh, look, it was a 1.
Actually, I may use my power because I don't. The Chrono Flash, could I use it even if I'm not entirely aware of the attack?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go ahead and spend a minute.
I only got 1 success on my defense.
If you want to use your power, I'll allow you to
Upgrade.
to re-roll it.
Oh, sure. Let's do that.
You're going to keep that D4. That D4 rolled a 1. That's going to happen.
That does.
But go ahead and add a minute to your clock.
So that's a
and
nice little net.
It is.
He got a downgrade for my Chrono Flash because that's how it works. It
Okay.
downgrades damage
Correct.
rolls.
So I need 3D.
Well, I got a 1, and I got no successes.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I did better that time.
So for you... Oh, no, because wait, I'm sorry, I downgrade.
Yeah, so everything's D6s.
So you got 1 success?
No, I botched. I got a 1 on my D4 and no successes.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what happens to you in a second.
I got 2 successes.
2
Net.
successes. I got 2 as well. Now, this is one of the weird peculiarities of our system. When the defender and the attacker have the same roll, you still get damaged. You just apply the base damage of the weapon.
Right.
Okay.
So ties go to attackers in this system.
Right.
So you take 3 damage.
Okay.
Yep.
I rolled 1. You got a -1, which gives me 2. And then, so you take 5 damage.
Does the
I'm
Kevlar
sorry. How much
subtract?
did you take?
Oh wait, yeah. I took 3.
Okay, that is absolutely, yes, thank you for reminding me. You take 3, so you only take 1 because you're wearing the Kevlar, and you take 3 because you're wearing the Kevlar.
Okay.
The way that armor works in this game is just net damage reduction. I mean, straight damage reduction.
Yeah.
Ryan, can you move that camera a little bit that way?
Towards
sorry.
Matthew.
Towards
Yeah,
Matthew,
but-
yeah.
However,
Just a
the
little
other
bit.
thing that happens
Like that?
is
We'll see.
Okay.
because you were not expecting this,
Yep.
you are slammed to the ground, and he's on top of you.
Yeah, you literally like my chest is to the ground. It's on
Yep.
right
A little bit back. Tiny little bit back.
Aaron, what's up, man?
I am going to unload my shotgun into this fucking dog that just bit my friend.
I think that's probably a fair thing to do.
But I am not good at it at all.
Bork on, you beautiful borking star.
Oh, that is just a nice -1.
Oh no! All right, so
Oh, Oh no.
So again, don't forget you can spend seconds.
I think I will spend. Yeah, that would be 4 seconds to just get a success. So,
Okay.
Because that equals out. So yeah, I'll
So-
just get a success.
And I only got 1 success on my
Okay.
dodge roll, and I can't spend seconds. So that means that you apply the damage of the weapon, which is 4.
Okay, 4, yeah.
So which one are you aiming at? The one attacking
The
him?
one attacking him, because I
Alright.
think I'm closer to him.
You are, and you are close enough that you are able to hit it broadside with a shotgun, and Smith collapses and does not move again.
Okay.
And now it's just Brutus. Travis, what are you doing?
Screaming at my friend that he just shot a shotgun near me.
Oh, yeah, and you're almost completely deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone's got a case of the mops.
Yep.
Mop, mop.
Mops. All right. Yeah, he's gonna probably roll out and try to assess the situation because I just got mauled by a dog.
I mean, and as you're standing up, you'll see these vines are just covering these
These
dogs.
creatures.
In
Where's
fact,
the
these
last-
are actually the things you saw in the woods.
Oh. Plant wolves! As he just yells at
No
me.
shit!
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I like the chorus.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Scott and I are good at that.
Where's the last one?
It's on him right now.
Oh, fuck.
I'm on the police training video.
Oh, hold still.
Oh my god. I mean, you're certainly allowed to roll it.
gonna try.
Don't catastrophically fail.
Please
Yep.
don't catastrophically fail.
So, luckily it's just 2d6. It's just 2d6.
It's just
And
2d6.
a D4.
And a d4.
Oh, good. That's not. Okay.
Oh,
Two
yay.
successes.
2 successes. I roll 2 successes. You apply the base damage.
But
That's
it's also armor piercing. So
right. So none of these guys only had 4 health levels and no armor. So you peg it right in the side of the head, and it sort of stumbles and
Hey,
collapses.
I did it.
And Brutus is out of the fight.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh god.
that's hot. Fuck. Ah. Dude.
Just get focus. Okay.
All right.
And you guys will see if you're looking at the dogs, those vines will wither
Yeah.
and just dissolve. They'll just fall apart.
I know this is a weird time, but can I roll my occult skill to try to figure out what the fuck is happening?
may-
Right?
Actually have a
Absolutely.
cold skill?
I do have a cult.
Make that an intellect and occult.
You
Yep.
saw some shit in the service.
I'm a doctor, actually. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a little stressed out.
You are a little stressed
A
out.
little stressed
By fighting the wolves, did we gain another minute?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet.
Well, no. Well, I don't know.
Oh, dear me. That's
Oh, catastrophic failure.
a catastrophic failure.
You want to spend some seconds there, buddy?
No.
Okay.
I want to see what happens.
So
Knowing things badly.
what happens is that you start to really think this through, and you start to think, all right, what is the I've heard this story about the vines before. I've heard this story about vines and the ability to control things, and then that sort of leads you to the idea of, like, you know, vines and earth and dirt and stone and beings made out of stone and the stone in their eyes, and suddenly for a minute or two you're just back there again, and you're just looking up at that thing and knowing that if it decides to kill you, you're dead and there's nothing you can do about it. And your heart starts to race, and you guys will see him his eyes focus on something in the distance, and this absolute shock and terror falls across his face. His face turns pale white, and he starts to hold his hand up and back away as if he's backing away from you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking around and I
I'm
have
looking
the gun.
behind me to
Yeah,
see if
he's seeing something that we don't see.
And you're going to go ahead and take a minute. And that is what you're... Yeah, and that's what happens because of that. But you're eventually, after a few seconds, you're able to get it back under control and remember where you are, and you're not back there, and this is not the same thing. You don't know what it is, but it's not the same thing.
Okay. So.
And you guys will see that well, actually, whoever's got, I know you've got medicine and intellect.
I do have medicine.
Roll that on the dogs.
Okay.
Medicine and intellect.
I'll roll.
Two,
Not
and
intellect.
medicine is what?
Ooh,
I got 1 success.
2 successes.
It looks like these dogs were probably still alive. The blood that you see, I mean, they bled when you shot them.
Right.
So it looks like You're not sure if they could have been saved or not, but they were still alive.
Yeah, there was.
They
there
were
was
just
still,
being controlled.
Yeah, there was some infestation
Right.
in them. Right, that was like a one of those the tropical fungus that takes over ants.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not that will be important later. But
Fair enough.
okay,
Well, we're
so
already in the highest place. I don't know what else it could want.
But are you back? Hey,
I'm,
you
fi-
back?
I'm
You back?
fine. I'm fine. I just had a moment. This is very stressful.
I know. All right.
The sounds of guns and things
Alright.
trying to hurt
Let's
me.
go. We gotta go save those people, and then
Yeah.
hopefully we can hold up somewhere until
We
the
ready?
fucking rain stops. Yeah.
All right, let's hit
yeah.
the road.
Jesus. As I pull the dog like off the car.
Okay.
It's like,
all right, so you guys are familiar with Avery. I mean, even you've lived here for several years. Your main problem right now is just all the memories that this is bringing back, because this is
Yeah.
the second time you've seen your hometown destroyed by flood. And for you guys, this is the first time you've ever seen this, but as you're driving, like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of water in Avery, Avery is never going to recover from this. You know, you may be able to rebuild, but you're going to have to actually rebuild. A lot of these places that you guys played as children are just trashed.
My bar's fucked.
The bar is completely fucked. There's cars that are mostly submerged. The main problem you guys have right now, though, is I don't know. Have any of you guys ever actually been in a flood?
I've not.
no, but I'm familiar.
So the weird thing about being in a flood is that you lose all sense of spatial reasoning when you can't see the ground.
Yeah.
So you can see landmarks and you can navigate downtown, no trouble. But the idea of staying on the road, it's really hard to do. Because you're looking at that signpost and that tree and you're like, those things aren't that close together, are they? No. Or wait, no, they're closer together than that. I don't understand what's happening. So what I need is whoever, the driver does not have to do this, but if anybody's got navigation, I don't think so,
I don't
No,
think we
I
do.
do not.
No.
then somebody who I would recommend, whoever has the highest intellect, make a
Okay,
straight
3.
intellect roll.
Not.
Not high, not high.
I'm a dumb. There's a reason I didn't make it through med school.
It's true.
If you made it through EMT school, then that's not easy.
That
It's a
is
different. It's a very different skill
great.
set.
No success, but I'm gonna take a
It's
second.
gonna take a second.
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Take a sweet
to
2
make it an
seconds.
actual success.
Okay.
Where's the 6 on this motherfucker?
Somewhere, maybe.
There it is.
All right, so you're able to sort of piece things together, and it requires some real effort. You have to really think about it, but you're able to piece things together to figure out, okay, I'm pretty sure that this is, if you go into this intersection, we're going to drown the vehicle because this intersection drops
Dips,
about
yeah.
3
Yeah,
feet.
that's another thing. We can't see when
Right.
there are more hills or anything.
But he's
like
able to sort of get you where you're going.
Yeah.
And it's good that you added the seconds, because the downside to that would have been that you just swamped the vehicle to try to get there.
no.
But you need to make a drive and a driving coordination roll, because while he's telling you this, there are things that your tires are hitting under the water and you're not sure what they are.
Yeah, I don't suppose there was.
that. Don't think about it.
I don't think there was time to reminisce about the good old days, eh?
No, there was no time to reminisce.
Yeah. People are dying.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That one single sweet success.
Okay, one success, you're able to get there. So you guys get to Sandy's bar, and basically Sandy's shop is dead in the middle of town, and it's got these 2 big picture windows that have Old Town Avery Museum and Historical Society painted on them. They're both broken. The doors are broken, and it looks like just junk from the floodwaters has broken these windows. And so you guys, your headlights play, like you park and your headlights are playing into the front of the shop, and you can see the racks and there's the model, it's there, and you can see all the bookshelves, and you can see just, some of these books, the local author, that was probably their whole stock of that book, and it's
Yeah.
floating in the floodwaters.
Actually, because of the horror I'm seeing, I'm actually going to take a minute. Just
Okay.
because I'm going to take a minute.
Okay, good call. Well, yeah. Actually, that's very. That's responsible of you. I like
Yeah,
that.
because I'm like, oh, I've been here
Yeah.
my entire life, even more than him, because he left for a while. I've been here.
Yeah.
And I've been in this situation before, so I'm going to take one as well.
Okay.
So
I'm
that-
actually kind of in my element because there's someone who needs medical assistance.
That's
so
right.
I'm
You're
going-
kind of
you
zoning
can
out.
focus on that.
I hit the brakes, I locked it, and I'm just going to dive out.
All right, you dive out and you're in waist-deep floodwaters.
Does taking a minute reset your seconds?
No,
Oh,
not until you get to
okay.
12.
I gotcha.
I'm sorry, even when you get to 12 minutes, minutes never reset your seconds.
Okay,
Seconds,
got it.
Seconds reset.
When seconds get to 12,
Okay, gotcha. All right.
all right, so you dive out, you're in the floodwaters, you go in, you kind of get your way past that model. One thing that does catch your eye is that there's a bookshelf right up over the corner, and there's still some books on it, and one of the books that's on it is a book that one of your you know the book because your neighbor when you were growing up wrote it, and it's The Haunted History of Avery. And right on the cover of that book is a creature made out of vines.
I'm glad we're not on a podcast.
Right.
But
So you
I'm going to hold it above my head and just
you
sort
guys
of
see
For
it.
the podcast.
What the fuck?
For the
what-
Because there will be a
what-
podcast version of this.
Vine creature, haunted history of Avery, vine creature, old man next door wrote it.
The fucking great.
Here, take
Peel at it, yeah. Get into
I'll grab it.
Okay, you've got it. And you guys, you have to go sort of, there's another door behind the register that leads into the stock room, and you assume, you don't see anybody in this
Yeah.
room, so you assume. And you also know that there's a set of stairs leading up to the second floor, and that's actually where Mark and Sandy live. They have
That's
an
probably
apartment.
where
That's probably
we
what
be
it is.
going.
All right, so you open the stock door, or the door to the back stock room, and you see two things. The first thing that you see is let's do it this way. You only see one thing. Directly at the back of the room, laid out on the counter, you see Mark Church. You don't see Sandy. But you do hear up those stairs the sound of what sounds like a doorknob jiggling, but you don't see Sandy at all. But there's Mark.
We'll run over to try to administer care as best I can.
All right, as you're charging into the room, you had sort of forgotten that one of the things that they sell in this shop is clothing made by locals, and you had just forgotten about that mannequin right there. And you charge past it and immediately take a minute as you see it, and you probably are going to want to get that thing out of here, or it's going to keep happening.
So in a kind of a blind you see him in a kind of a blind rage, just like run over to it and just grab it and just slam it face down into the water and dump a shelf on top of it.
Philip, you alright? What's going on down there?
Fuck off. And I just, after grossly overreacting to the mannequin.
So you guys see him do that, and then he charges over to Mark.
Yeah.
And Mark is cold to the touch and blue from about here up. And his shirt is ripped open, and he's got what looks like leads from an AED attached to him, and the AED is still on, and it is quietly saying, "No shock advised."
I'm guessing that means he's gone. I close his eyes if they're not.
I was actually going to head up the stairs as he was rushing in there.
Okay.
Because that's where I think that she would be.
So as you see, what looks like another mannequin floating in the water, but you kind of look down, and it's not a mannequin at all. It's a guy in what looks like a janitor's uniform.
Fuck, who's that?
It's the janitor from the police department.
The fuck is he doing all the way down here? Fuck. And he's gonna try to not think of a dead, floating, bloated body and go up the stairs.
He's not bloated. He does have what appear to be blunt force trauma wounds all over his upper torso, though.
Something weird's going on.
No.
No. Vine monsters. What? Are you kidding me? Yeah,
I'm going
of course.
upstairs to see if she's all right.
Mark's
something's
gone.
With the janitor. The janitor's
Just
here.
fuck it, and I'll cover you. And I just get behind him with a pistol out.
Okay.
And Doctor mode's over.
You know what? Knowing shit might be good. I'm gonna read this fucking ghost story.
Please read the ghost story.
So I'll start with you.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm
You
loud,
thumb
everyone.
through and you look for the vine thing. And what you find is, and you kind of have heard this legend now that you think about it. You see, the conventional wisdom is that the reason Old Town Avery was drowned to make the lake was that basically, the people who did the initial logging had built Old Town Avery just like they built New Town Avery, sort of at the bottom of a bowl. And they had done so much logging without sort of really paying attention to what they were doing that, and this was back in the 1700s, that runoff became unmanageable. And the town kept flooding. Every rain season, the town would flood. And they tried all kinds of different things to stop it. And it never worked. So finally they said, you know what? Why don't we dam the nearby river? We'll make a whole new town. The town is not economically salvageable. And it was a bunch of elders that made the decision, and it turned out to be a very good decision, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. However, the story reminds you that there is another version of that tale. And that tale is that one of the many things they tried to do was bring in an invasive species of vine that would root in the surrounding hillside and cause runoff control.
Makes sense.
But that vine started to grow unchecked because in its home environment, the temperature kept it in check. But in Maine, the temperature was just right to cause it to grow explosively. And they tried everything. They tried bringing goats in to chew it down, and it didn't work. They tried burning it, and it worked kind of. They tried cutting it back, and it didn't work. And eventually, it got to the edges of the town and started pulling buildings down. And if you guys are from this area, you know kudzu will do that.
Yeah.
And there's even stories of Tom the bar hand who got drunk one night and decided to go out into the vine patch and have himself a piss and was never heard from again. So the alternate story is that eventually the town elders grew so afraid of that vine that they drowned not Old Town Avery, but the vine itself under Lake Canderley and rebuilt the whole town. And what's more disturbing is that this is not the first time Avery has had a severe flood. In 1917, an event very much like this one happened. And that was before the dam had been rebuilt out of concrete and steel, and it was still timber. And it was very nearly destroyed by just the force of the water from the lake. But they were able to stop it. However, legend has it that some of the people near the lake saw two things, and a lot of different people have said they saw this, that were very disturbing. And the first was a giant man-like creature made entirely out of vines. And the other was the group of men that fought him back. A group of men wielding what would have been high-tech weaponry in 1917, but dressed like old Roman soldiers.
The fuck? All right, I know there's mushrooms around here somewhere. Like,
You guys go up the stairs, and there are four doors. The hallway ends, in a window looking out over the alleyway, and there's three of these doors. Both of these are open. This is the kitchen. This is a bedroom. This last door is open, and this is a bathroom. And then this door is closed, and the doorknob is jiggling. And when you look at it, it looks like whatever or whoever's trying to open it is just too weak to get it all the way around.
I'm like, her name was Sandra, right?
Sandy.
It's Sandy. Hey, Sandy.
Sandy, back away from the door, please, honey.
And we're going to come in.
You don't hear anything in response. You hear what sounds like a low moaning that might be Sandy.
Is the jiggling stuff?
No, it stops.
Okay. I'm gonna, okay.
All right.
You open it, I got you.
All right. He has like the AR slung on his
Hey.
back, and he's like,
Hey, look at me, look at me.
what? You've got the...
If her eyes are made of rock, I don't think it's Sandy anymore.
You take over people?
The moose was probably looked like a huge challenge for it. Go.
He opens the door.
So you open the door, and sure enough, Sandy Church is standing there. And sure enough, she is covered in these vines. And she has one arm like this, and she is dragging a fire axe that is covered in blood. And she moves towards you and then walks right past you, like you're not even there.
And I'm like, legit. I like pull back out, and I'm like,
She walks into the kitchen, and she sort of clumsily, with her free hand, pulls a pan down and puts it on the stove, and grabs a spoon or a spatula, and starts just clumsily stirring nothing in that pan.
what the...
So she's waist deep. Oh, and the kitchen's up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fire axe is just still hanging.
Yeah, she's still got it. She's still holding it, and it's covered in blood.
Are her eyes gone?
Her eyes have been replaced.
What do you want to do? What's going on?
I will just see if. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try something,
All right.
but we are going on hair trigger mode right now. So I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna be like, Sandy, and I'm gonna isolate the wrist and squeeze it very gently to see if I can get just a slight bit of release on that axe and just try to lower it gently out of her hand.
Okay, so you grab it, and for the most part, you can feel when you do that. You can feel a pulse, and she, initially does not seem to pay any attention to you at all, but as you kind of increase that pressure, Sandy, give me the axe. Her face turns towards you, and you see that there's a light behind those gems, and it focuses on you, and her mouth opens, and you hear from the back of her throat, Philip?
Yeah,
And then a vine whips out of her mouth,
of course.
strikes you in the face, or
Okay.
attempts to strike you in the face, and we're going to enter combat.
Yay! So I need
Oh, no.
coordination and reaction.
That's less than good.
This is not.
This is
not
not
great.
pleasant.
It's not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
3.6 Ruckins.
Don't love it. Mm-mm.
Well, do you want me to roll? I'm still downstairs. But...
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Let me roll my uh-oh dice.
Oh, dice.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, there goes those successes.
Oh, no, he rolled both of them as ones.
Sixes and ones, baby. It's the only way I know how to roll.
All right, that's the same. Not the same, but I got a
One success.
Hey, guys,
1 and
okay.
a 6.
One success. Being distressed sucks, apparently.
Yeah, oh,
it
and
does.
wait, you can have up to
Oh, wait,
5 of
hold
those
on.
damn things.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
how do
actually,
you-
need to roll another
How do you do a win? Okay. Oh, you take time to collect yourself, and then the only way.
Yeah, you have to manage yourself.
Yep. All right, so so you guys all rolled the same thing. So what's your coordination?
My coordination is 1.
Coordination?
2.
All right, so you'll be going, then you, then me. All right, so she's trying to lash you with this thing with her tongue. So I'm gonna let you dodge,
Okay. Same pool.
and it's a surprise attack, so she gets the first shot.
She really did shock me there.
Yeah.
Okay, well, to hell with you. To hell with you, distress dice. I have 1 success.
Okay. So that gives me 2 nets. That's a total of 4 damage.
Okay.
And down there at the bottom of your sheet, you're going to see a little spot that, oh, no, we took it out. We didn't mean to take it out. Did we put it on the back? On the back, you can write this in notes if you want. I just want you to write poison 1.
But I have an idea what that's going to end up doing eventually.
I'll let you know what that does when it does what it does.
Fun.
You can feel, when this thing hits, you can feel like it burns. It burns really
I got
badly.
chlorine in my eye at the beginning.
And she hit you right underneath your cheek. Okay, so that is her first. Now you get to go.
I will take I'll take the hand axe that I'm holding and I'll just whip it up across her face to cut the vine.
Okay, cool.
Not good. Not great. To hell with you, distress dice. I'm gonna spend some seconds here to make me actually succeed. I have 1 success.
One of my playtesters says, "Quote: The hell with you, distress dice." End quote. James laughs. We all know how that feels. So you got 1.
I got 1.
I got 4. That gives me 3 nets, so I'm out of the way.
Boo.
Boo. All right. We're going to move on over to Aaron. Or, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He's gonna because he doesn't entirely see what's going on because
shit.
it lashed out at him. He's gonna grab the AR, but he's gonna do pull it over her body,
Try to pull her away.
yeah, pull her away,
Okay.
to hold her down.
So we're going to make this just a flat strength roll.
Okay.
You're
flat
just
strength.
trying to pull her off
Yeah,
of him.
yeah.
So
I got no successes because my 1 canceled out my successes.
it is uncharacteristically strong for a 72-year-old
Yep.
woman.
Yep.
Yep. And Travis.
I'm Aaron, but okay.
I'm sorry, Eris. Yes.
Okay.
I'm Travis. He's Aaron.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So yeah, I hear the commotion. I'm
Yes,
assuming. so
100%. Yeah.
I will rush upstairs
Okay.
and fire my handgun into her.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead.
Because why not?
Got to do that.
It's true. You didn't have any moments of revelation here.
No. I was like, oh, I can save her. It's just Sandra.
I don't think
That's
I
all
can.
No successes.
She's out of the way.
I think this might
Okay.
be a one-way trip to
All right.
you gotta hurt your people you know town.
Oh yeah.
Now it is going to be her turn again, and she is going to try very hard to plant this fire axe in your forehead.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that
So
dodge.
I'm gonna do my my reflexive.
Hell yeah, you are.
I'm gonna do my reflexive cognition, pushing me up to that hot 6-minute mark.
Oh, that's an additional distress die. That's fantastic.
Well, we're just gonna even this whole thing
yeah,
out.
just you want 3. I mean, 3 is a good number.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your dodge, but roll it with all d8s.
It's the number of the Trinity. What could go wrong with that?
It's fine. This is fine.
It's an important number for culture.
That's one.
Oh, thank God. I got 2 successes.
So I got 2 successes, which
Uh-oh.
means that you apply, or no, I'm sorry, she applies her base damage to your face.
It's true. It's
Her
true,
base
she's-
damage is 3.
So it nicks my face and hits the Kevlar.
It hits the Kevlar. You take 1 damage, correct?
So do the clusters of health mean anything, or are they just for?
They're just for visual.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a privilege that gives you an additional cluster.
Gotcha.
All right, so now it's going to be your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to return the favor. I'm still not in shooting her mode yet. I'm going to take a swing and try to take the bottom part of the axe and gouge one of the stones out.
Okay.
You know, the bottom of the tip of the
Sure.
axe, and just try to like get that, see if that's what's doing it.
All right. It's an interesting maneuver. I'm going to ask you to make your normal attack roll, which
Not great right now.
Well, yeah, because you don't have weaponry, do you?
Not in the least.
Yeah. So your normal attack roll, and let's see what happens.
Worst. Basic didn't take, nor did med school. I'm unmotivated. What are you gonna do?
That's,
Oh, that's good. That's
I rolled
not
666.
Oh shit! Number the beast.
Well. You know what?
Do it.
I think it's time to burn a lot of fucking seconds.
Bring it on.
To make myself have 3 successes.
Okay. So you actually end up.
So that's 8 seconds. So we go all the way up. So we have 3, and then we have 5 more. So we roll this to 7, and
Right.
then I'm at 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's right. I just remembered. Yeah, because you have to spend double seconds.
Yeah,
oh
shit.
God,
Yeah, he's gonna been double second.
Unmotivated.
hurts.
It really hurts.
Yeah. So you get it, and you're able to pry one of these stones out of her eye, and when you do, you'll see that it's not connected directly to her eye. It's sort of laying over the top of it. So when you pull it out, and you know it's still connected to the vine, and it's sort of dangling down here.
Gross.
And her eye, Sandy Church's actual eye, is desperately searching the room, looking at you pleadingly. She is in there. She is aware that she is not under control of her body right now. You're the only one who knows that. So let's see if these guys murder her.
No, he's just gonna like body check her because he's like, I don't like it's chaos. We don't know what's exactly going on. It's dark. So he's like body check her. She probably threw me off because I didn't expect her to be so strong. So
Right.
I'm just gonna try doing that.
Bring it on. She is very strong.
Strong. All right, D8s. Just strength. Okay. Yep. All right. My 2d4. I may have to spend some seconds here. Oh Lord.
Did you guys?
Double ones, double sixes.
Okay.
Hey, like my initial roll.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's fine. You didn't. So you.
So it's one per. Or
Two
per?
seconds per success.
I'm gonna
You-
spend 2.
All right, so that gives you a net of 1, which means you're trying to body check her off of him?
Yeah, body check and sort of slam her up against the wall.
All right, you got her. She's up against the wall.
Okay, so now she's sort of contained.
I mean, yeah, she's gonna split your wig with this fire axe in a minute, but
Yeah.
go right ahead, Aaron.
So yeah, if he's like on her, I'm not gonna try and shoot her because
call.
that's not.
Guess what happens with
It's not good
a
optics.
catastrophic failure in that scenario?
Yeah, I'm not that great.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna try and help him.
Okay.
I'm trying to secure her essentially.
Excellent. Okay.
So that's gonna be a strong.
So you're just rolling strong against her,
Yeah,
and just do your straight up strength to keep her pinned.
Okay. That is a catastrophic
It is a catastrophic failure.
We're gonna let her ride.
All right, excellent. So you're like, okay, if I get her pinned against the wall, if I just hold her arm, she can't use that fire axe. And you rush in, and you just don't see the big patch of water in the way, and you just eat shit all across the floor. So you're on your back right now. You don't take any damage, but you're on your back.
Over T-Cal.
And she's got a fire axe, so that might be a thing. And it's now her turn. So, I mean, you're the easiest target, so she's going to try to slash you in the chest with this fire axe real quick.
You don't get advantage in D&D because someone's tripped for no reason.
Right.
So what do I roll? I roll my coordination.
Coordination and reaction.
And reaction.
Can you pass me one of those fat sodas over there?
Give me
Sure
1,
can.
2, please.
You sure can. I mean, after what I'm doing to you guys right
Yeah,
now,
I
it's
need a
only
little
fair.
consolation.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
here.
my secret soda.
Now I got to replace my secret soda.
Reload.
Secret soda number 2.
Can
I
you,
should have brought whiskey.
Check me one of the coasters over there.
Not gonna
If we
sleep
do it like a
tonight.
long 6-hour game, yeah, let's do that.
Definitely. Next time, let's all just get hammered while we're playing.
All right, now let's actually roll the
You
d.
guys
All right.
ever feel sad?
1 success.
Okay, cool. She got 2 net successes.
Oh boy.
That's going to be 5 damage. But you have Kevlar,
I have
so
Kevlar,
it's only
so
going to be
3.
2.
2. Okay.
All right, so there
Wait,
are no
3,
wound-
yeah, 3,
Are
3.
there no wound penalties or anything?
There are no wound penalties.
Okay, okay.
Because I don't know about you guys, but I've never tracked them once effectively in a game. So
I literally.
Also,
yeah.
they create death spirals.
yes, they absolutely do.
So you need to do other things. To...
Most systems I play have them, and I always forget they're there.
Yeah,
Yep.
I forget that they're there. All right, so she's, bam, it's in your Kevlar, but a little bit of it got through, or it didn't. It just probably broke a
Yeah,
rib.
probably broke. Yeah, just impact
You gonna
damage.
save your buddy here? What's going on? What's going on?
She's still in there.
Fuck.
That's all I say. That's what I say.
Okay.
So, oh my god. Go for the other eye.
All right, bring it on.
Just hook it from behind her.
Work the
Now I've got her sort of pinned. Does that help him at all?
You know what?
Because that's kind of my goal, is to keep her contained.
I'm gonna let it help. I'm gonna reduce her dodge rolls.
Oh dear.
Ah!
You just axe me in the face.
I might spend some seconds to make that not what just happened.
You can do that.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna spend some seconds to make me not have just axed him, so I have one. I have 0 successes basically.
Okay, that's actually fine because I also have 0 successes.
cool.
So, as we said earlier, that means that you've got it, and you use that hand axe and you sort of plant the blade right where you know that thing is. The problem is you do hit Sandy in the face when you do this. You just can't help it because she's struggling. So you catch her right about here, and you can see just a huge wound open up on the side of her head. But you're like,
Better half blind and husbandless in a town that you
Right.
can't live in anymore than dead.
Jesus!
Shit.
Oh, I never realized
Ryan, why do we invite you to this game?
Oh, because of
Hey,
high
home
quality
crew.
gold.
Home crew, I want somebody to write down better half blind and husbandless in a town you can't live anymore than dead. Jesus, I'm a horrible person who did this to poor Sandy Church. Anyway, you take the hatchet blade. You're like in for a penny. I got to get this thing out, and you pop it out. And when you do, it falls, and the vine just starts to. It tries to reestablish control, which adds a minute to you because it moves like a snake.
Oh, no!
It tries.
I probably actually when it happens, he probably just flips out and just backs
Old
off.
7-minute Phil here doesn't feel bad for you at all.
Holy shit! You're at 7 minutes.
Fuck yes,
That's
I am.
amazing.
Unmotivated. It
So
hurts.
she's the vines struggle to try to reestablish control, and they try to choke her to death, to try to not let her win. But it's just you've got these discs out of her eyes, and she starts clawing at the vines now. And between you guys trying to pull them off and her pulling them off, you guys are able to tear all of these vines off of her. And of course, now she's got, this is going to need stitches, but her eye is fine.
Yeah.
You didn't get her eye, you just got this flap of skin and bone
When we
here.
pull it off, so none of the vines look like they're coming out of her skin or anything like that. They're like literally physically like a carapace over her.
They're like a carapace,
They
exactly.
actually cover the
and then
body,
they
and
get
then
into the eyes.
then they insert themselves into the eye
Correct.
and then cover it. Oh fuck!
She immediately, as soon as she gets free, she takes a breath, she looks at you, and she goes, "Oh, hey, Travis," and she vomits all over you.
Oh god!
Okay, Sandy, let's sit you down. We got to get that eye looked at real quick.
It's coming from the lake.
Great. That's
Sure.
great. Tell
Well,
me while I stitch your eye.
Yeah, long story short, they brought in this fucking vine 100 years ago to try and erosion control, and it started eating everything.
I suppose they didn't check with any local fucking shamans if that was a good idea, huh?
Yeah, you know what? It's my understanding that fucking white people aren't great with indigenous.
Yeah. No, also, 2 seconds ago, I didn't even think, like 30 minutes ago, I didn't even know magic exists. So fuck it.
Yeah, you did.
One of the when he says that, I want you to make that occult roll again. Occult plus intellect.
By the way, also after I say that,
brick.
I turn to the window and I'm kind of looking. I'm actually taking a minute to let the rain, like, ignore everything, calm down.
Excellent.
Let the rain wash my sins,
What
all my troubles
what's
away.
your minute count at right now?
5.
I will let you go down to 3.
And I'm going to hit the pantry, and just I'm making like the shittiest, most unleavened, like crap matzah that I can.
Well, when she sees you do that, she is clearly horribly traumatized, but she's also still Sandy Church.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, "Honey, let me make you some food. Hold on a second." And she's got a gas stove, so she's still able to operate it.
Right.
So she starts cooking up some pancakes, and I'll allow. What's your minute count at?
It's
Right
at 4.
now? I'll let you go down to 2.
Okay.
I catastrophically failed the occult roll.
God damn it!
What is?
Oh, I don't know. I
Yeah,
can
just open yourself to the secrets of the fucking universe.
double
there.
everything, man. I'm at 7 minutes. What do you want from me? And I
Calm your ass down.
So let me just let you know that one cool thing that will happen is if you get yourself to 12 minutes, you'll go back to 1.
fair enough.
Yeah,
I do know what happened.
You get it.
Push on through the other side.
It's a roller coaster. Just keep pushing all the way to the end.
You know, that's fair. Let's delve the darker secrets of the universe to get me to to try to get to 2 hours by the end of the session. Shall
Okay.
we?
So do you want to spend some seconds then?
How many seconds do I need to actually knock this out of the park? Because I already am. I'm eating that.
So there's a weird thing that you can do based on the fact that you have unmotivated. Because you have to spend 2 seconds for each one, you're the only person at the table who can spend 12 seconds in one shot.
Because you go. Oh, your max is 6.
Yeah, most everybody else's max is 6, your max is 12. So
Huh.
if you're sitting at 0 seconds right now, you can just spend 12 and take a minute.
I'm at 9 seconds.
Oh, well, everything you do is going to probably hit you another minute.
Absolutely, I know that.
All right, so how many seconds you spending, buddy?
Well, I got to spend myself out of this hole first.
Yeah.
So I guess it's another 8 seconds
Jeez. Wow.
Oof a
That's
to
That's
get
oof.
me two successes there.
all right, cool. So you do that, and you go ahead and take that minute.
Click. Back to 5.
So you're 8 minutes now.
Yeah, 1 hour, 8 minutes, 5 seconds. And distress die number 4 is out.
Woohoo!
Can someone reminisce with me for 5 goddamn minutes,
Well,
please?
the problem is you're trying to think about this and you're trying to stitch your eye out.
I know that.
It's not exactly like you can take a minute.
as-
Don't worry, we'll have a sit down over pancakes.
The healers always suffer.
Yes.
So you recall that now you remember what you were trying to remember earlier. This thing about vines, these demon vines or whatever, you remember hearing a story from the deep south. When you were in the army, one of your basic training buddies had a story like this. And in that story, the vine creature, or the vine thing, the entity that was controlling the vines, had a singular, almost like a flowering pod. And that was the brain center of the whole thing. And they were able to find it and burn it. And when they destroyed it, all of the vines fell away and everybody was saved.
This thing has a heart. It's one big entity. so we have to find the center and kill it.
Me. Where do we think it's in the lake?
That's where it seems to be coming from.
Sure hope not, but maybe.
Like it. I don't know.
Is that some pancakes I smell?
Yeah, that's pancakes.
Let's just have some pancakes.
It's a pancake.
Yeah.
So Philip is like sitting at the kitchen table, just head over, you know.
So I'm these motherfuckers' bartenders.
Yes.
So I know what he needs when he's in a mood.
And Sandy and Mark have been known to tie one on, so they
Yeah.
have some refreshments if need be.
So yeah, we have whiskey and pancakes. And
I want everybody at the table in that little notes section to write alcohol intoxication 1.
Oh boy.
Also, I'm poisoned.
Oh, I know.
Okay, good.
That poison does different things depending upon what's going on. I know what yours does.
That's cool.
Just in case I breeze past it because I'm tracking a bunch of things. If at any point going forward in this game you start to breathe very heavily in character, let me know.
Gotcha.
Nice. But yeah, no, we have some pancakes and whiskey, and I just start talking to him about the good times.
Okay, and what minute are you at?
I'm at 8.
You're at 8 minutes. I will allow you to go back down to 5.
Okay.
The interesting thing about doing that's a weird part, because he was trying to push himself
Yeah.
over.
I don't.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I think we might get there. Don't worry about it.
I think we're gonna get there.
I think we'll get there.
We're going to get there.
I don't want
together.
to get there.
Together.
I don't want to get there all at the same time. I don't want
Right.
to get there like too early, because that's awkward.
All right.
You don't want to show up too early to the party.
It'll be fine. We can put things back together once sanity is restored. Jesus fucking Christ.
I love that the chat is filled with talks about the horrors of kudzu.
I know. I saw that. That's yes. It's almost like a Georgia boy wrote this whole thing.
oh.
Yeah.
Almost.
The bog
But
creek.
yeah, so I'll pull out the haunted stories book and start to cross reference stuff.
Hey,
like-
Sandra, did you hear anything like this? As he starts talking about these stories, because she's been here forever,
Yeah. She is so out of it right now
that she can't really.
that she's just like, oh, I definitely heard Marty's cousin's boy. He went to the prom. And she says something super racist, and you're like, oh, right.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Ah,
Okay, got
yeah.
it.
Oh,
And-
okay,
and
yeah.
the story gets
I kinda
tangent
like-
on tangent on tangent.
I look at you and I just sort of like, don't bring her too close back to reality, dumbass.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because her reality is not any better.
I've already just
Like-
expressed what her reality is, and it ain't great.
So they drowned this thing in the lake when they'd made it,
Yeah.
and then
Now it's coming
it
out in the
got
rain.
out in the 70s,
1917.
1917. So in 1917, back
Because
when
the
the
original
dam,
dam was
the
made
dam
of wood.
was shitty.
Dam was shitty because it was like it was like 1800
Yeah, I think I
type.
remember a story.
So I
like
think
that.
it's in the lake.
great.
And it's figured out a way to move
How do
on
we
high
burn-
water
Yeah,
because
you can't
we
burn
haven't seen
something
it.
that's in a lake.
You have nature. I want you to roll an intellect in nature.
Got it.
I feel like okay. I'll wait for him to be smart.
Oh, good. I only have one D4 now.
Oh yeah, I'm back down to 2.
Well, I got one success at least.
So, if that vine is still underwater, well, a couple things pop at you. There's one thing that pops out at you is that one of the stories about the divers, the divers who work at the hydro plant, is that they won't dive all the way to the bottom right near the plant because there's an old legend that if your feet touch the bottom, you never come back up. So that leads you to believe that vine is probably still there.
Yeah.
It's not going to be able to grow. There really aren't any vines that can grow underwater. But if the dam were to be destroyed and the lake were to suddenly be here instead of there, that vine would be exposed to the air again.
And then it could start spreading. The heart is probably by the dam somewhere because it's got to be able to take root in something. And and I cannot believe I'm following Wise Tales of this web, whatever the fuck I got. If you touch the bottom of the lake, supposedly you'll never come up if you're a diver. So it's probably down. Some of it's down there. It's maybe in the bottom basement of the at the very foot of that stairs. Right back, guys.
I guess we'll head to the dam. We need to think about what we're gonna do when we get there, though. I don't.
Fire.
One thing that you guys specifically, he may not know this, but you guys remember this.
Yeah.
The high school, the way that the dam is built, so about 150 yards from the football stadium is where the dam actually is. The high school is on the dam property.
Oh wow. So it's so it's on the other side. Got it. Now I'm getting a visual of the.
Yeah,
the
so
dimensions.
like one of the problems that the town has is that a lot of the times teenagers will break into the dam, and most of them will just go out there and fish, but
Yeah.
some of them will go out there and smoke the electric lettuce. and that sort of-
Degeneracy.
Fucking degeneracy. But you guys are, you know that the football stadium of Looper Greens High School is no more than 150 yards from where the dam is.
So we can get to the dam by the school, and then we can get there. We can fight it. It's probably on the other side somewhere at the bottom of that dam. Because it's got to be.
Is the high school one story or two?
It's one.
Okay.
Actually, because my actual science is in biology, that's actually what I decided to do. I would like to make a roll for where I think, based on the ecology of these things, how this thing is spreading.
I'm frozen again, by the way.
Yeah, it's why probably.
Oh,
out there
okay,
fixed.
okay. Okay, yeah, make that roll.
Okay, now I need to report on James's emoting. Hold on. He's smiling at you. Now he's making monster hands.
Monster hands.
Monster hands.
I said intelligence.
Yep. Or intellect, yeah.
Intellect plus science. And we roll my distress die. No, that does not matter. But I rolled pretty good. That's 2 successes.
And explain again the actual question
The question is, based on how is this thing spreading? Because we've had wolves that have been up on the hill, nowhere near this dam, yet it got to those dogs.
Right, okay.
It got to her. How is this thing spreading? And where, like, based on that, it's like, oh, then you can kind of trace it back to where it may be coming from.
Gotcha. So most likely, if there is any sort of a spore that this thing releases,
Yeah.
it's in the floodwater.
Okay, so it's the flood water that is interesting.
Yeah. So if there are little snippets, and especially vines like this, vine species, if a piece of the vine is able to take root somewhere, a whole new vine will grow there.
Right.
So if this thing released a bunch of just pieces of vine when and a little bit of water from the lake slipped into the river down below, and then that flooded, then that's probably how this thing spread. So it probably spread from the lake.
Okay, so it's definitely at the lake.
But you also, when you wrote, you're 100% sure that you're right. That pod would not be able to be far from the epicenter of the vine, so it's
Right.
got to be somewhere in that area.
It's got to be somewhere near that dam, because that's how that works. Because it needs to be able to grow, and if it was just under floodwater, it would not work.
So
It needs other things.
basically, the dam spilt over.
Kind of. It's spilled into some other part of the network, and the vein has spread because of the floodwater. So, so what are we going to do about her?
Well, I think she's safer here than with us.
That's true.
Just
Well,
tell her
should
to
I
stay
go-
away from the water.
Just stay away from the water, which we have to swim through, and then get back
course
to
we
the
do.
truck.
Well, if you don't make sacrifices, you can't be a hero.
I'm not
Never
a fucking
asked.
hero.
As he
right?
slams down at the shot of whiskey.
Never has to be a fucking hero.
Well, we didn't ask to be a lot of things.
How do we set fire to things right now? We need gasoline, right?
Yeah, gasoline,
Anything,
propane,
propane
anything.
accessories.
Yeah.
Yeah, propane accessories.
I mean, napalm burns underwater.
Yeah, we don't. I'm sorry,
You got any
I'm fresh
styro-
fucking out.
Got any styro?
Yeah, styrofoam and gas, motherfucker. Haven't you read the Anarchist Cookbook?
No, actually, I haven't.
Why not?
Dude, you
Fascinating read.
poor benighted fool.
All right, but let's grab the shit. We can
Getting
always,
gasoline
oh,
might be
but we
pretty
can always
hard
go
right
by.
now.
We're gonna go by the school. We can always go to the chemistry.
Flooded.
department.
Flooded, yeah.
Chemical soup. You don't want that.
Well, here's the thing, though. The high school and the dam itself, the way that they're built, because it was very important when they built the high school football stadium that they wanted to be able to dig it out so that you basically walk up on a hill and look down into the football stadium. So they built the whole the whole high school up on a hill.
Yeah,
So-
basically they just built it up.
Right, so it's probably not flooded.
Oh, chemistry lab it is.
All right.
Great. All right, Sandra, thanks for the pancakes.
Mr. Perkins said I would never amount
And
to anything.
Sandra is just sitting at the table with her head in her hands, crying quietly.
Sandra,
Yeah?
I want you to listen to this one thing.
Okay.
Don't get in the water.
Oh, I'm not going to get in that water, honey. I'm going to lay up here and wait for this all to pass.
If it starts coming in here, get on the roof.
Okay. And she's going to go back to crying quietly. I'm not going to make you guys roll to drive to the gym because it's already 9:25. What is going to happen, though, is as you guys get close to the high school, you're gonna see a couple of things. The first thing that you're going to see that is somewhat alarming is that probably maybe 2 miles out from the high school, you will find a black SUV with tinted windows, heavy like mag wheels, and no external markings at all. No company logos, no license plates, nothing. And the driver's side door has been ripped off of it. And it's kind of cantilevered in the center of the road. So if you guys can drive around it, but do you want to stop and investigate it at all?
It looks like
So,
Going.
I know. It's,
hold on.
I know a standard bad guy wagon when I see one.
I don't know if this is a bad guy wagon. So last time this happened, some motherfucker showed up in Centurion clothing, and weapons that were really advanced for its time, and they fought this thing off.
In fucking...
It's 1917.
Centurion armor
Yeah.
What?
at a sea parks.
At a sea park.
At the sea line. Sorry.
Jesus.
I see an unmarked fucking bad guy van that might. Who knows? They might.
Fine,
I say we should just
stop.
check. Let's check.
You're right.
We have to assume everything is possible, everything is real.
Vine monsters.
Moose.
Vine moose.
Vine moose.
Vine moose. At a sea parks.
At the sea line.
So you guys, you go over to the vehicle and you start to kind of look inside of it, and you will see, not in the vehicle, but in the water, just as, you couldn't see it because he's dressed all in black, and the water is dark and it's dark. But as you get close to it, you'll see, sure enough, floating in the water is a body. And the body, the armor is made out of like Kydex and Kevlar and all of the stuff that you would make modern body armor out of. But it is 100% Lorica musculata Roman armor. And he's wearing like the Roman armor belt, and he's wearing combat boots, not sandals. So it looks like Roman centurion armor, but updated for modern times. And the only marking on him is on his right here over his heart. He's got a. Have you ever seen the 8-sided star for the sun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's a bright orange sun disk right over his heart. And he is death grasping a Roman gladius.
Well, that's pretty mysterious.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
I can't kid anyone anymore.
Bullshit.
You want to grab it?
Yeah.
No. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who grabs it?
I will like check. Like I'll flip him over.
Okay.
Check his eyes.
His eyes, a good portion of his face has been ripped off.
Oh God.
Oh.
That's
Even
a minute.
me.
Yeah, that's
even
a
your
minute.
even your medical.
I'm not going to make the medic take a minute for that.
Yeah,
but
even your medical
yeah,
professional is a little oot, but not.
I'm
gone.
still not. I don't.
Yeah, he's the one who ripped. So I'm
Yeah.
going to make him take it. But yeah. But when you flip him over, you see that all this gore in his face. But you also see that you can get a better look at the sword because he's got it in his hand, and you flip him over, and just you realize that as you've been so distracted by everything going on that it didn't occur to you until just now that you're holding your flashlight down, but you can still see everything really well, and it's the sword. The sword is illuminating the whole area.
Yeah,
It's a goddamn magic sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the goddamn magic sword.
Okay.
Try and pry his finger off of it.
He's dead, so he's not going to try to
yeah,
stop
good.
you.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
if-
dude, that might not matter. Who knows?
Rigor mortis has set in. It would be a little oogier.
And as you sort of you bring it, and you can feel when you wrap your hands around the hand grip of this gladius, and you sort of pull it up. The first thing that happens is light plays all over the inside of the vehicle, and you probably don't look any closer because you don't want to
Yeah, I don't
have to.
wanna see
But you
what's in
can
there.
see stains and shapes all inside of that vehicle that look like there were probably several of these dudes at once, and now there are more of them because they've been taken apart.
Oh no, that's no good. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, let's get out.
And the other thing that happens is
I'm still in the car.
So
that there's a warmth that spreads all the way up your arm and towards your heart, and it feels. You immediately lose a minute.
oh boy.
You feel comforted by holding this.
And I'm going to say that one of my languages that I know is Latin.
There are displays all inside the vehicle that are still turned on and are ticking in Latin.
This is some fucking X-Files bullshit.
Is it fucking Knights Templar or something?
the truth is out there, everyone. Can we fucking get going now?
All right, yeah,
Sword and
let's
everything?
take the magic fucking sword and go slay the plant demons.
One thing that as you're sort of stepping away from this, and you're like, you know what, I'm not even going to
Yeah.
check, but you will see that written on the dashboard is the phrase, we'll say because I don't remember the actual phrase that I used last time, but we'll say it's our lives for the undefeated sun. And Sol Invictus is underlined.
You know what? I'm actually going to take a wash on that minute to use the madness angle.
Okay. So again, you're now standing.
Oh, you get to live in the reality where you look inside the car.
Yes, absolutely. And you can see, like, there's a pulse where you now see, again, that and you see everything inside that vehicle. And you see that there were 6 of these men, and they were meticulously torn apart. And they have claw marks that are, the claws would have had to have been, they look like fingers, but they would have had to have been, the hands would have had to have been like this big to cause this damage. And they're all of them. This is the only magical weapon that was in this vehicle. And this guy, clearly, now that you're looking at it, has what appear to be commander's adornments. And you will see a what looks like a really, really advanced cell phone sitting kind of wedged in sort of in an almost open wound right here.
Oh God.
And it looks, you're not sure why, but just you know that cell phone can tell you who these guys are and what they were doing here.
I'm gonna go for it, and like I'm like literally, it looks like I'm like reaching
What is
into
he
him
doing?
and
I thought
pulling
we were
out.
leaving.
Fuck.
Gross.
What the fuck? Pulling out
Okay.
fake hips now?
No, it's not a fake hip. It's look at it. It's Latin.
It's Latin.
It's literally Greek to me.
You're
I'm gonna slap you.
the
And
worst.
you're going to have to take some time to really
Yeah.
go through this. But the takeaway that you can get, like as you get back in the car and he's driving away, is these guys are members of what is called the Cult of Sol Invictus. And they've been around for a very long time. And you get all of their names, you get their ranks, and you get their jobs. And they were absolutely here to find and destroy this vine so that it didn't spread any further.
Okay. All right.
So the guys,
Clearly, it didn't work
Well,
out.
clearly
work
they
out.
have the worst security on their technology.
So what you're saying is the guys who were sent to fix the problem
Came back to
Are-
fix the problem,
are
but then
in-
got torn apart.
Didn't
little-
fix the problem.
are all in little pieces over
Oh yeah, big time. All little pieces. Yeah.
Big damn heroes.
By something that had a hand like this big.
The second thing that happens as you get closer to the high school is you, as the lights sort of play, your headlights play across that hill, you will see the way that the stadium is built, there is an entrance coming out of the hill leading up towards where the dam is. And you'll see there's a huge hole on the fence of the dam. And what looks like, one of the things that was interesting that I'm sorry I failed to mention is that there were no other people in the town except Sandy Church.
Yeah,
You didn't see
really?
anyone else.
Right.
That's
No one
'cause-
floating in the water. No.
right. It's because they're all here.
Oh God.
Oh God, I had a few. You were about to say.
and you see them, and it looks like they're forming a human chain between the inside of the stadium and the dam. And there's one chain passing stuff up and one chain bringing stuff back.
Oh no, they're trying to open up the dam.
And the things that are being passed up are things like sledgehammers and pickaxes.
course.
And the things being brought back are buckets and baskets full of stone.
And now, oh, this is gonna end so poorly.
I'm trying to I'm digging through the cell phone, seeing if there's like a number I can call
In case fucked,
in case
press the button.
your team is fucking dead.
Yeah, is there an emergency button?
Starts
So
texting numbers.
you know, here's the thing. It's all in Latin and it's got some weird symbology, but
Conjugate
it's still
the verb.
it's still a freaking tech
Yeah.
deck. So you're like, okay, this button looks like a. So
Yeah.
you hit a button and you can hear in the speaker it's ringing,
Oh God.
and somebody answers and says "Salve."
In very broken Latin, I'll say your team is dead. The infected are trying to bring the dam down, and this is all in Latin. You might need to fucking nuke the place because I don't know what we can do.
So there's a
I
moment.
heard nuke because that can't be
know-
translated in Latin.
That's a new word.
So
a new
there's a moment, just a beat, where the other side of the line doesn't say anything, and then in perfect unaccented English, the person on the other end of the line says, "Are you on the ground in Avery right now?"
Yes.
Sir, we've got somebody on the ground. And you hear somebody kind of in the background say, where Team 126 is supposed to be? Yeah, he says they're all dead. Phone gets passed over. Who is this?
This is Aaron LaCroix, and yeah, your boys are dead.
Is it on speakerphone or is it?
I can put it
We're on fucking
speaker,
speakerphone if you're talking to someone. Shit.
We're just
Hi.
We're just some guys.
Oh,
we've been doing what we can, but we're just some guys.
We got your magic sword because it seemed important.
oh.
I thought it was just like, a lightsaber or something. Anyways, the vine bud thing, the main flower is probably at the fruit base or the basement of the dam, at the foot of the dam.
And they're all trying to bring it down.
Infections in the floodwater.
You hear kind of a little bit of a debate going on the other side. You hear him say, look, if these guys may be our only chance. All right, gentlemen. My name is Cassius. And I suspect that because at least one of you reads Latin, you already know that I work for, let's say, an interested party.
Yeah,
And if Team 126 has been taken apart,
quite literally.
that means that things have progressed a lot more quickly than they did last time.
I would say that it's escalating. Yeah.
I think it has vendetta.
Well, here's our problem, gentlemen. We can have 3 teams there. We could have our brightest and best trained special forces there. We could take care of this problem. If only Blackhawks could fly in the rain. But not in a storm like this.
Okay.
No way. But we can't get there. So if things are already as far progressed as you say, then I'm going to give you gentlemen 2 options. Option number 1 is I can try to help you, give you the information you'll need to end this problem and save your town. Or option 2, you can turn around and you can run away and my teams can collect you and get our sword back the moment you cross somewhere where we can get to you.
Well, this town's already fucked. This is more about vengeance at this point.
No, it's about saving these people.
Yeah, they're
Well, oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. No,
they
that's
can be
it.
saved.
I
It's
forgot.
just the stones in their eyes.
Matthew forgot that they actually...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's about getting rid of these people because if we take care of the central bud, the problem,
Yeah.
the terrible problem goes away. The flood doesn't.
Well, here's what I can tell you then. The seed pod, wherever it is going to be near the dam somewhere, no more than a half a mile away. You are absolutely correct in that destroying it will end this, and you may suspect correctly that that sword you are holding is your best bet to doing that. You can also use fire. Fire will destroy the pod. The problem isn't the pod anymore. The problem is its protector.
Moose.
Vine Man.
The drawings that we have of it from our last encounter with it make it look less of a man and more like. Have you ever seen The Howling?
Yeah.
Oh
Looks
boy,
more like
Vine
that.
Werewolf. Okay.
Yeah.
Vine Wolf.
Vine wolf.
Vine
Vine
werewolf.
Vine wolf.
Nine
Well,
and
we've
a half
got
feet
some
tall.
handguns, a shotgun, an AR-15,
And a magic sword.
and a magic sword.
I'm not sure how effective any of that is going to be against it itself. However, its primary drive is to defend that seed pod, and its secondary drive is to destroy that dam. So if you guys can figure out how to draw it away from the seed pod long enough for somebody to destroy the pod can't fight back. It will have ways of protecting itself, but it cannot do anything if you're standing next to it with that sword. You can hack it apart.
Like, is there something that pisses it off?
Got it. So second objective is to break down the dam, right? You threaten to stop it from breaking down the dam.
You
It
disrupt it.
draws out it. Somebody goes and gets it, but we got to find it first. That's the
Okay,
kicker.
all right. Well, we got to deal with a town full of Vine people to try and stop that.
And also try not to murder the people.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
what I'm okay, that's the hard part, all right? I came up with the idea.
I know.
It's going to need to be somewhere centralized where it can see the whole operation. It's going to need to be...
Probably the basin of the stadium, I would imagine.
Would it be in the middle of the stadium?
I mean, it would have to be somewhere it could grow out of the ground.
The fucking
Actually, I have
Intuition,
I have
nature?
intuition nature.
Yeah, you could roll intuition nature. And yes, correct. Intuition is the roll when you're trying to guess something like this.
Yes. It's like intuition is actually pretty
Not a
damn
great
decent.
imagination
And nature
on
is
me.
pretty good.
seconds.
How do you reroll?
You can spend 6 seconds to just re-roll the whole
I'm
thing.
gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay.
So I'm back up to I get a minute, which kind of sucks actually, but I'm at that's 4, so I'm at 2 now. I get to reroll that. Now, when you reroll, but you go up in minutes, do you add an extra distress die?
Yes.
Okay, so kind of fucked myself.
How to say nuking in Latin. Let's just Carthage this place and let Morta sort it out.
Yeah.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. You're beautiful. That is 3 whole fucking successes. I'm
Excellent.
glad I rerolled.
I mean, so Luber-Greens High School is specifically well known as one of the AAA football teams in the region, which has one of the side effects of meaning that the town really cares a
They
lot
put a
about
lot
that.
of money into.
And they put a lot of fucking fertilizer on that grass.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
That's where it's at.
Joy.
It's on the football field.
All right.
Someone.
And you guys
somewhere
could
cares
walk
about
up
football.
if you walk up that hill, you can look down into the stadium.
Yeah, let's.
It's okay. Well, we
Take a
probably need
look.
the truck actually. Bring the truck up because it's
Yeah.
probably wide enough you can actually
That
bring a
winch
car
might
up.
be. We might have some dumb use for it.
Sometime for that.
So you see a few things. The first thing that you see is as you pull up that the whole football stadium is lit,
Yeah.
but it is lit with what look like little phosphorescent pods growing off of these vines. This is very soft, diffuse blue light, but it's enough that you can see pretty well. And what you see is what looks like a forest of these vines, probably 16 or 17 feet tall, covering the entire football field. So it's probably in there somewhere, but you can't see it from here.
Yeah.
It's covered itself.
It's covered itself in these vines that are as thick as my thigh and 16 or 17 feet tall. And it's just this thick forest of these vines. The other thing is you definitely see that line of people is walking into that forest of vines and coming out of it.
Oh, no.
And the third thing you see is it's about probably 9 feet tall. And it is entirely made of these vines that are writhing all around it. And everybody take a minute.
Of course.
Its hands end in these claws that are made of the thorns that come off of these vines. And its head is what looks like the skull of a wolf that has been just co-opted into this hole.
Favorite.
And big yellow gem eyes. And we actually have a picture. I sent you that picture.
Yeah.
So you,
It's. I don't think there's an easy way to put it up on the stream.
unfortunately, but we'll put it up
It's
later.
very creepy, everyone.
It's as spooky as you think it might be.
Yeah, and it is standing down there, and it is barking sounds at the vine people. And the vine people seem to be reacting as if obeying orders from it. But it does not seem, I mean, your headlights are up there. If it looks up there, it'll see you. It just doesn't seem to care.
Or,
All right.
What do we
Pesticide. We get a big mess of pesticide. One team goes and like throws it in the dam, in that line up to the dam. Get it and basically
you need a herbicide, not a
draw.
pesticide.
Yeah, whatever. Herbicide. Yeah,
It's a herbicide.
We basically chuck a whole bucket full over by the dam.
I have to imagine they hacked off a lot of herbicide too to keep the.
I just want to point out you guys are only the second group out of 10 that has thought about the herbicide route.
Yeah.
But yes, they have tons of it here.
Because you got to control all the weeds.
Wait, were all the people from SEC schools and stuff from the southern schools? It was like,
actually, the funny
now, I'll
thing
tell
is
you what, we
because
know
it's
how to
a
do
fa-
football,
It's a
right?
hybrid. Actually, that's perfect because it's a weed killer, and weed killers are very fast-growing plants.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are also these vines?
Yeah,
Fast-growing plants.
So
Absolutely, this would-
we get a big bucket full of herbicide. We chuck it on some people, which that'll probably fuck them up a little bit. But you know what?
I've had herbicide dumped on me
Yeah,
before. It's mostly fine.
it'll draw it off, and when it gets drawn off, we go in and find the seed pod. So we'll need to split up somewhat.
All right. So I'm thinking we basically with the truck, we do a crop dusting, essentially, of the line.
That's a good idea.
Draw it out. When we see it, then we can cart around and meet up with you because you got the sword.
Yeah, I'll wait.
You'll have to follow quickly, follow the line to the heart because I
Yeah.
bet you anything $1 for donuts, it's going right to the heart of it.
Okay, so it does seem like
But-
they don't have a hive consciousness
They
that
might,
much.
yeah, but they also might
They're
get.
communicating.
They're communicating somehow.
They might get. This might piss them off.
That will likely piss them off. We just listen.
If
Tell
I get.
you what, you boys, you go into those woods. Let me take care of the truck, and let me run Big Boy there around.
All right.
Sure,
Yeah.
I thought he'd go by himself and I would be with you. So you could drive and
There's no reason for both of us to die.
Well, I mean, also he'd get there faster just by himself.
But I might need backup.
Fine, fuck you.
What if the
If he's in
line-
a, if he, I mean,
Also, what if those guys they fall in on you? Like
Yeah.
there's a bunch of guys that.
All right, yeah. I'll go with him because
let's go to the school. We'll go where they have the herbicide. They probably
go
have
to-
the shed. There's probably a shed.
Welcome
always
to
a
Willie.
shed.
Welcome to Willie's shed.
Get it up.
That's Willie's time.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Gavin, I am going to send you the picture of Strides by Night, and if you're able to put it up in the Twitch chat for me, that would be super.
Oh, that'd be
groovy.
great.
yeah.
I'll also do some video editing, and it'll be up on the YouTube around about now.
All right, so, I mean, your plan sounds as good as any of the other plans that I've heard,
Yeah.
and you're doing it with 2 less people than most groups, so
Oh,
let's
boy.
see how this goes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with him,
Mm-hmm.
give
Okay.
him back up to get in there. So you're gonna have to do the whole that part by yourself.
Yeah, man.
I think I know how you're gonna get to hour 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna succeed at this.
Yeah.
Hell or high water.
How many can I just
Can I just roll this and see where we land?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's
Why
pull it
don't you
off.
tell me how I do on this roll?
All right, so okay, explain to me, you are going to try to take the truck out there.
So basically, yes. The plan is I will take the truck. We will get the pesticide in some form, herbicide. Sorry, in some form that I can disperse it.
Okay.
Whether it be bucket or if we were merciful enough to have the whole spray.
Actually,
You can
no,
have-
it would
have
have
the
a
spray.
totally
It would have
have
a
like a
sprayer.
hand
we'll
pump
have
spray
have
thing.
the sprayer. So I'm just gonna like drive by it, like
You're going to drive by, spray the line.
the line, and then when Big Boy comes, I'm gonna make him chase me real good, and hopefully I can kite him around long enough without being eviscerated
Oh dear.
for them to get in.
Oh, fucking dear. Okay, that's going to be great. And then you guys are waiting for him.
We're
Okay,
SEAL,
so
we're SEAL Team 16. When he goes and does that, when that thing is pulled off, we're going to
heading-
follow. We're basically going to hoof it to follow the line of people.
yep. Okay.
To the heart, and hopefully
Perfect.
we do this quick enough.
And the last thing you see him say before it's like, I always wanted to do donuts in this field. Guess I'll get my fucking chance.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. So, folks in the Twitch channel, they're working on a solution right now to get an Imgur link so that you guys can see the picture that we paid a lot of money for. All right, so, okay, here's what I want you to do. I'm not going to make you guys roll to find the herbicide. I'm not going to make you roll for any of that. What I am going to make you roll for is to try to drive on the side of a hill in torrential downpour in the mud with one hand out the window.
I mean, you're the
Trying
one
to
to do
spray
it.
people. So let's make it happy haps,
I'm
man.
a guy with a drive skill.
Yeah, man.
I can make this happen. I'm not that stressed out right now. Oh, wait, nope. Knocked over to 6, so pretty stressed out. Pretty,
Hoobah.
pretty. Ooh.
Just remember, Panama.
Remember that you can spend 12 seconds for you to just ignore all your distress dice on a roll.
You know, this one's good enough. Let's do that.
Okay.
Ignore all the distress dice.
God.
Why the fuck not?
Yep.
Click.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can spend the ignore your stress.
Yes, you
Well,
can.
that was easy.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Hey, 4 successes.
Wow, and that is an exceptional success. So basically what you're able to do is you're able to drive at a freaking 15% grade in the mud in this truck and spray bunches of this line. And as you spray them, immediately these vines start reacting. They start whipping out and hitting the side of the vehicle, but they're only about the size of my thumb, so they don't really do any damage. But you'll see that they're desiccating as they're being hit with this stuff.
Because I have to do something to lighten this up, I do say sorry to the people whose faces I recognize.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
Sorry,
Shirley.
Charlene.
Sorry, Job.
Sorry, Job.
That's and they occasionally one of them will the vines will desiccate enough that he'll vomit and sort of start screaming because he's just been freed from this freaking nightmare. And some of those you probably get about 6 of those people who you completely free, and 4 of them immediately just tear the hell off away.
Correct.
2 of them start trying to rip vines off of people, and they're starting to get people in the line attacking them, and they're fighting back, and it's just drawing a shitload of attention.
The
And
eyes.
you guys will see, since you're watching it,
Yeah.
the beast is shouting orders, and then it stops and looks up, and it's got these ears made out of vines, and those
Yes.
ears twitch, and it drops to all fours and takes off, just rips off
Yep.
where he's
I'ma
going.
die.
Oh, you are not in a good place right now. So, and when it starts to rip off, the first thing that you guys see is that there is no way he can outrun it in this car. It is going to catch him. So I'm gonna, you'll hear like the screams from the people fighting, and you're kind of doing your best, and you'll hear thud, 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 thud. You'll look back and you'll see this thing moving probably 60 miles an hour towards you.
So,
Objects in mirror, maybe. maybe.
Object in
a bit
mirror, we're gonna get
closer.
real close real soon. All right, back to you guys.
Okay.
Well, now we gotta SEAL Team 6
yeah,
this
we
into
gotta
there.
run in and hopefully we can stab this motherfucker before it rips him apart.
Yep.
So yeah, we're so I say we go. We're heading into the forest.
Oh,
we're not going to follow the line directly.
Yeah.
We're going to follow to the side of the line.
Okay.
So that we don't directly run into these people.
just
And I'm gonna have the sword, but I'm gonna wrap it in something.
So that it doesn't glow all the time.
Right. So,
Before we left the truck, I pulled out a couple flares because this was a police vehicle.
okay, sure.
It probably had a couple flares on it.
I'm cool with that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I'm going to basically he's going to lead, and I'm going to just cover him basically with my gun out, ready.
All right.
Looking around.
So you guys are tearing through, and I am going to fiat, for the sake of making this work correctly, that it's going to take you 2 rounds of him having to deal with this for you to get where you're going. But while you're going there, the first, so what we'll do is we'll break it down this way. We'll do a round, and then we'll get you to the pod.
cool.
And
Got
then
it.
he'll have to deal with this.
We have
thing.
to. It's 2 rounds to get to.
Correct.
To the
And the
final
way that it's
finale.
going to work is that the people that are part of the vines that you didn't see as you went in are going to claw at you with these thorn claws as you run by
I'm
them.
going to take myself a happy little minute there. Because
Yeah, that's a good call.
fucking creepy. That's some xenomorph shit right there.
Yeah.
I'm like eyes on the prize.
All right, so Scott, I'm going to take a swing at you, and you can roll your coordination and reaction not to be hit.
Okay. There's those nice 2 distress dice, because fuck me.
Might end up taking a minute to get rid of these distress die.
That's 1 success.
It only costs you
okay.
6 seconds to do that.
Oh, it's 6 seconds.
so-
I thought it was a minute.
You take 2 damage.
Oh, God.
Matthew, they're
Yes.
swinging at you now.
Forget your Kevlar.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Kevlar.
you take no damage.
No damage.
Coordination reaction sucks.
Hurrah.
As you're doing, when you see him and your heart starts to pump very fast, and you're like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, you breathe in, and you can feel something wriggling in your lungs.
Oh no, we totally forgot about that.
I didn't. You can feel it now. It's in you. So I'll let you know what that does.
I got a success.
Cool. You're going to take 4 damage, reduced by 2 because your armor, you take 2 damage.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Ow,
It's
ow.
pounding up towards you. It's gonna catch you. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take what's left of this jug, and you ever seen Detroit Rock City?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna try to pizza his windshield.
As you're trying to pizza his windshield, I do want you to make a. We're gonna call this a resilience plus metal roll. Metal is mental toughness.
I'm great at this, thank God.
Good, because
thank God I'm good at
you
this.
can feel things inside you
Minute time.
stopping your body.
No distress now.
Yay!
Let us click. I told you we'd get there, guys.
Get there.
Did you get to hour 2?
Not yet.
Okay,
no,
let me-
we're gonna get there.
Let me know when you do.
Oh yeah,
He's riding the midnight train.
Midnight train to doom.
dude. Okay. I got 2 successes.
All right, so you are able to, you're able to stop it from taking control of your body, but it does cause you to, you kind of get, and you sort of, you don't get as clean of a toss as you want, but you actually do hit him, and you can see parts of the vine on his head start to desiccate away, and he's just as thrilled as he could be with you right now. Back to you guys, you're still running through.
I'm good at
run,
making
run.
friends.
Scott, give me that dodge roll.
Oh yeah, we're at 4 distress die now. That's awesome.
Okay, well, yeah, it's the same roll as this, so... you know what?
I'm actually gonna hit 6 more seconds so I can ignore all my distress.
That's what I'm going to do as well.
Yup.
Yep. I think that's what's gonna keep happening for the rest of this game.
Yep.
Because I got 2 successes. I wanted to keep those 2 successes.
Why did I do that? I did not roll these, but I got a success.
Okay. You both don't get hit this time.
Oh boy.
And he is, in 1 or 2 seconds, he's going to be able to reach out and grab the truck.
Oh, so what I do is I just slam on the brakes
Okay.
and then
So-
jackknife it into him.
Okay. I'm going to roll your drive plus coordination, and I'll roll my dodge.
Yeah.
Just
So basically, you just slam on the brakes.
So
he's
he-
gonna
so he
slam
aims-
into
I
the
just
back.
slam
of
him into it, and
Yeah.
he doesn't get to. It will likely throw him off at least a little. And I definitely took.
See, this is the downside of I don't have minutes,
Yeah, I see
but
what's
I
going on
also
here.
can't do anything about
Yeah.
this.
Also, the attacker gets to declare what success means, so that's always nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an aggressive system because tie goes to the aggressor, which is good. It means you have to be very proactive in what you're doing.
2 successes.
So you got 2 net successes. So are you trying to damage him or knock him away?
I'm trying to ring his bell and just slam the vehicle into him and trip him up. And
Okay, I'm going to say that a base damage on a truck is, let's say 5. No special quality. It's 5, 6, 7. So you do 7. He has 5 armor, so you do 2 damage to him.
Nice.
And it definitely stuns him. He's like, whoa, I did not expect that. However,
The other assholes didn't do that.
it also puts you face to claw with him. So he's going to try to reach through and pull you out of the window.
He might succeed.
He's probably going to succeed. So he is going to roll, and you're going to roll your coordination and reaction.
You use that superpower.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because everyone's got superpowers.
Gavin, the answer to your question, Gavin asks, how many groups did the smart thing and just ran away from the whole shebang? Not a single one yet.
We're playing a role-playing game, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. If your answer to your role-playing situation is disengage, you're a dum dum.
Yeah, but
I guess you could do that if you want to play the super horror.
You
Yeah.
refuse the call to adventure once, and then you come back into the adventure.
that's right.
This ain't no Bible. Don't deny him thrice.
Sneak attack with the truck. All right, what'd you get?
Hold on, haven't rolled yet.
Okay, I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what happens here.
I'm just making sure I've got everything well before I try this. Okay.
Yeah, it's so sad.
You know what? Let's just pop this minute over one more time so I actually get out of the way of this.
Okay.
Because we're almost there. We're almost there, guys.
You're almost
We're
there. He's
at-
almost there,
We're
everybody.
almost a second to hour. I fucking pierce the veil and some real good shit happens. Oh man, I'm glad I made one success on that.
That did not go the way you hoped it would.
Man, so I could take a whole minute to re-roll that, huh?
You can. Yeah.
That would click me over to hour 2, huh?
Yeah.
Let's just
Do it.
Let's just
Do
do
it.
that and see what happens.
This is
so go
basically
ahead
your
and
last roll of your game. So
when you get to hour 2, I want you to take 2 points, 2 dots, and assign them wherever you want to on your sheet.
You know, I'm gonna say reaction.
Cool. You can split them. You don't have to assign them to the same place. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say reaction though because that seems to be really important.
Very important. Okay, cool. And you just bought your second, and that's nothing bad happens at second hour.
oh boy,
Great. I feel like no consequences were accrued.
No consequences were accrued.
Does my weird reflex pool still count for this on the reroll? Like the power that I turned on to the the thing that upgraded all my dice.
No, because you used it. Oh no.
yeah,
He hasn't
made the roll.
He's like, my stats increased. Did I roll
Oh
the
yeah.
stat increase?
You sure do.
Okay, well I did pretty. That was a failure, and I'm ignoring everything. So I got 4 successes.
He gets 0 successes, and you throw him off so much with the weight of the truck that he reaches through to try to grab you and overextends past you and tears out most of the windshield section instead. So you survived, and you guys definitely see the seed pod now, and there are several of these people that have been completely enwrapped in
Oh
vines.
god.
And they are going to try to stop you from getting to it. So this is sort of their last chance because they can't move. They're vined into the ground.
Okay, so they're literally physically rooted.
Yes, right in front of it. So
Right.
they're going to be slashing at you every round while you're trying to destroy this.
Okay.
So I'm going to let them go ahead and do their slashes against you first.
Okay.
Scott.
All right. I am taking
Should have taken the AR.
yeah.
Really
Armor
should've
piercing.
Yeah, really
He's
should've
got
taken
an
it.
AR.
I had the AR.
Really should have taken the AR.
Problem is, as hard as it was actually would have been better for him to go by himself, just because he wasn't actually facing that bad of a problem getting there.
You know,
No, this is pretty bad.
Yeah, wait till this part happens. Now, before you see how fucking easy it is.
Yeah, all right.
One success.
So 3. So you take 1 damage.
Okay.
You silly Billy.
All right. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take my stress. Use my stress stat. Because I'm not kamikaze like. I got no successes.
I'm a special.
Okay, so that is going to be 4 damage as one of these things just tears into you.
-2. So
No, so that's actually past the -2. You took 6.
Jesus.
Yeah. I roll 4 successes.
I am very hurt.
Cool.
I am very hurt.
One of these things you see, just one of these like vine claws reaches out and grabs the side of his neck,
Ugh.
and he is bleeding badly.
Okay.
But it's now your turns to do what you'd like.
I'm going to unsheath the gladius.
When you do that, all of these vine creatures that can move away from you.
Oh, good. Fuck. What should I have Fuck. And I'm gonna plunge it into the heart of the seed pod.
Okay, so you do that, and what you don't see, and you're going to be very excited about out of character, but you're not going to know about in character,
Oh boy.
is that I have to add a distress die to all of my rolls now.
Oh yay!
Yay!
Because this sword is a harrowing effect.
Okay, good.
And I'm going to say that... Okay, so what I want you to do is you don't have weaponry, so just roll strength to see how much damage you do. I don't get a roll against you.
All right.
You definitely hit me.
Okay, well, I'm going crazy town too.
Crazy
So yeah,
Town
that
Junction.
gets me there. That's another minute. Shit, because I'm ignoring my stress dice. 1 success.
So that's 1 plus 3 on the sword, so that's 4 damage to the pod. Okay, and Matthew, what are you doing?
Yeah, since I just took a huge gash to the neck, he's just kind of opening fire at all these pods because he's not shooting the main seed pod because this is just a gun. It's not going to be that effective.
Okay.
But he's trying to basically keep all of those creatures off.
I disagree.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will downgrade them on their next set of attacks to you guys to all D6s because they're blinded and they're pushed back.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So we're going to let you go and see what happens.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, so he's about right here.
Mm-hmm.
For the magic
got a big
radio,
ol' hug.
he's like it's it's
Gnashing
little
skeleton teeth.
little tickles.
He's definitely-
like a xenomorph.
It's ASMR.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's
No.
oh boy, Cenobite ASMR again.
God, I hate you.
ting
people.
ting ting. Shit, dude.
It is not desire that summons us.
Attacking him is utterly worthless.
But tingles.
So, and running from him seems kind of dumb too.
I mean, do you have like a second thing of herbicide?
Nope.
Like,
I don't mind you having some more herbicide.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna just pump.
All right.
This horrible monstrosity.
So go
Down his
ahead
throat.
and roll your coordination plus
Science.
science, I guess. I'll allow it. I don't know what else to do.
That's awesome. That's an awesome.
That's
roll.
why I said science, because I knew you.
But I'm going to ask you to roll it as D6s.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. I don't have any distress die right now because I'm super chilled out from losing a piece of myself to the void.
My business partner says he has to find a way to sneak Cenobite ASMR into the book now.
okay, yeah.
Good. The joke is spreading.
Good.
Yes.
Your Senna buddies love you so much. 4 successes.
You get 2 net successes. And you see, like, he recoils a bit because he's starting to desiccate from this shit you've hit him with. I'm going to make that give him 3 damage.
I'm going to roll out of the open wound of the truck.
Okay, you're going to be onto the hood.
Okay, yeah, I'm just going to try to get some coverage where if he has to claw, he can't easily.
Well, he's going to try to grab your ankle and pull you back through that windshield.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That seems real. That
Nice.
sounds like what would happen. He's probably really angry at me right
He's
now.
very unhappy with
I'm
you.
really hoping they kill him before he eviscerates me.
Go ahead and roll your coordination reaction.
That's great.
Your
I'm really.
friends could be all dead right now at the heart
I'm
of
not
this
even
thing.
that stressed out, y'all. I'm mellow fucking yellow right now. Oh God, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you, Dark Lord. 4 successes.
Okay, so that gives me... and you're wearing armor?
I'm wearing Kevlar.
So you take 3 damage as he pulls you
cool.
back through the broken glass, and he doesn't hurt you, but the broken glass and cut up metal does. All right, now it's going to be back to you guys.
All right.
And Scott?
Stabby.
Sword
Bring it
time. Use the sword as a sword.
2 successes.
So that's 2. The net is 3, so that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
And then actually, I'm going to pull out some of those flares and toss them into the pod.
Good call.
I'm gonna
I'm just going to apply their base damage to it, but it also gives it flame. Well, you can't do 2. You can only do 1, but you can do another one next round. It
Right.
gives it the flaming 1 quality.
Yeah. So it keeps taking damage every turn.
Yep, and flaming stacks. So if you hit it again next round,
Yep.
it will flame 2.
What do I need to roll?
You don't need to roll anything.
Okay, just
It-
do
it- yeah,
That's
it
right,
can't
you can't
move.
dodge, you can't do anything. So,
However, its buddies are now going to try to kill both of you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But do you remember from last turn, they're down.
They're D6s only.
Okay, so
And they're distressed.
Oh, they are distressed. Good call, because that was
Yes.
a terrible roll for you
I don't
guys.
want to side CGM, but I gotta save my boys.
That
I'm
was a
gonna
good
actually
catch.
go ahead and take six more seconds to ignore my stress.
Okay.
So that was
So 2 your armored blocks it.
Yeah.
And one of them snatches out to hit you and hits its buddy instead.
Yay!
Oh, thank God for occasional derpage. We love that.
Actually, I'll let it hit the seed pod.
Yay!
Okay, so and we're coming back to you.
So it's probably holding me.
It's got you by
upside-
the ankle.
So I'll take the stem of the thing, and I'm guessing it's all vine, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to lean up, work the thing in, and just pull against its wrist.
Make that roll again. Oh, yeah.
Stonks.
Stonks are up.
Stonks are up.
Stonks are up. 2 successes. They are not up.
I mean, I got 2 successes, so we're allowing you to apply the base damage. And then
Well, that's the seed pod damage.
Unless it's all one thing.
Well, okay, whatever.
oh,
what you want.
no, you're absolutely right. You're
I
absolutely right.
figured they were a separate health pool.
They're separate health pools. So you're able to get it in there, and it screams in agony when you do this. And the next thing that it does is, oh, hold on a second.
Herbicide was our greatest weapon. Good call.
And you guys, like I said,
Modern pollution.
you guys are seriously only the second group that's used it, and
Nice.
it was.
Super
I tried
effective.
and I tried not to handhold anybody and be like, you could do this, but you guys got it.
Well, you had 2 science guys
Yeah.
in and out of play.
It was Scott.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it was Scott that said herbicide before either.
You
of
don't
them.
know. You said pesticide, and then went.
Well, yeah.
Well,
but
it's good because I'm the dumb. It's just like the side. Whatever side works, and they're like, no,
The side.
actually,
Really,
it's
whatever
herbicide.
whatever modern pollutant we can
Yeah.
throw at this thing.
Bitch, this ain't Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Pentex
Oh,
is your friend.
oh yeah, I know exactly what he's gonna do, and it is fucking rude. Okay,
Oh,
he is gonna
no.
attack you
Are you
back.
gonna be a rude boy right now?
He's gonna be a real
You
rude boy
Joe
right
rude
now.
boy right now.
He's gonna
Go.
attack you back. So go ahead and make your dodge roll.
Oh no, that goes on the floor.
Well, that's.
That's where that lives now.
Yeah, pretty
Thank
much.
God ones don't cancel on that. So okay, cool. 3 successes.
Okay, so I got a net of 1, which gives me the 6 damage. However, he does not do any damage to you. You take 6 minutes.
Oh!
As he infects your soul.
He rears back his claws and he points them out and he rams them into your head. And you're like, oh, fuck, I'm dead. But as his hand gets close to your head, it becomes completely insubstantial and it goes through your head and he withdraws. And when he withdraws, you feel those vines in your heart taking over. And you remember that moment with the thing, and it's just like that, only this time the stone golem has decided to kill you. And the world is, you can't breathe, and the world is coming in, and everything is going crazy. That effect is called harrowing, and it's one of the things he can do.
I hope it's a per day.
He has to take a long rest.
That's good. That's good. I don't think I can take it.
Son, do you think this is D&D?
He doesn't have to take a long rest. There's no such thing in this game. He can do as many times as he wants.
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
I hope he just pushes me right over an hour. It'll be great.
Okay, so that is going to take us back to you guys.
All right.
Okie dokie, here's the thing.
Hey, 3 distressed
I'm gonna
guy.
throw the
right.
throw the next flare.
And so he takes 1
I have.
damage
I'm
for
gonna
being on
assume I have
fire.
3 flares, so I have 1 flare left on me.
All right, so that he takes 1 damage for being on fire, another 2 for being hit with that one, and he's
Yeah.
got flame 2 now.
Yeah, I am going to spend some minutes to get a success.
Seconds.
Seconds, sorry,
Yep.
yeah. I'm going to spend a minute to get a success.
Okay, so that's 4. Okay, and then they're gonna try to murder you again.
Yeah, it happens.
Get out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and spend a minute so they get all downgraded for me.
Okay.
There's literally a bright flash, a microsecond of bright light comes off of me.
You're not sure what the hell just happened, but something happened. You think it was probably the sword.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
All right. Yep. So I got 0 successes against you, Matthew, but go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sorry, you hit it with the sword again.
I did.
Yeah.
Ermagerd Herway.
I am at 8 minutes, by the way, just so everyone knows. That
I'm at
sucks
7.
so
Yeah.
much.
Oh no.
Oh, actually, I did roll only once. It's fine.
And I got 0 successes against
I too am at that number of minutes.
8 minutes.
all right,
Oh,
so
you're almost an hour. You're almost
you. We're back to you.
I mean, he's displeased.
Yeah.
Might be the right word for it. So instead of doing the rational thing, he's going to like dive for its face and just try to literally shove the stem of this, like literally just take the pesticide and dump it down its fucking throat.
I kind of see it like it's holding you like this, and you're just like.
Yeah, just
I really love that this is turning out to be such a fucking mad dash
Oh, yeah.
actual horror movie ending. All right, so make your roll, man. Let's do it. I want
Let's
to
just
see how
have
this
fun.
happens, and I
Let's
got
just
my
have
3
Just
distress.
have fun.
and I'm
Be
just gonna
yourself.
take a minute and ignore all my distress dive.
Fun for yourself.
Good thing I did. 1.
I have so many distress.
Okay, so that's 4 successes. Oh, all successes on all 6 dice. So 6 successes.
I rolled 3, so that's 3 net. I told you it would do 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And you can maybe at this point hear him screaming at the top of his lungs, incoherently, just lots of motherfuckers and...
No, better than a bunch of motherfuckers. Just like the full scientific name of the herbicide that you're using.
Do
All right,
you? It's like,
so
Triniceride, little scene or something.
do you know it?
he,
No,
when you do that, it very clearly hurts him horribly. It looks like he's probably not going to take another hit like that. He steps back, sort of tries to brush all of this herbicide. You can see he's starting to desiccate. One of his eyes is starting to droop. And he plants his feet and he extends his claws and he howls. And when he does that, you can see those vines wrapping tighter. He upgrades all of his dice to 10s and 8s for this shot.
Uh-oh.
And he is going to try real hard to murder your face right off right
That's
now.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. You take it. Okay.
But I don't think he's gonna.
Yay! Roll them reactions.
Let's click that minute over one more good time, shall we?
That's probably a good call.
Let's just ignore those penalties this time. That'll
Just
probably...
fuck.
The funny thing about the hours, minutes, and seconds is you can also almost time it out like it's a TV show.
Yeah.
Because as the action ramps up, it gets later and later.
I got 2 successes to dodge him.
You got 2 successes. He got 2 successes.
So he does his base.
He does his base, and his base is upgraded, so he does 5 damage. And I need you to take
5 with or without Kevlar.
with.
Woo!
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. That is it for me, but I will spend the minute to ignore the wound.
You spend the minute to ignore the wound.
Oh boy.
You can spend another minute to ignore the other wound, because he has a wounding property on his strike. So you don't have to take a wound. You can also either you can die heroically, you can wait it out, or you can have a conversation with that dread being that got its hooks in you all those years ago.
That happens to be in your heart right now.
No, actually, that's a different one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's totally different.
I'll take the little 2-minute tick actually.
Okay.
And just be a
You ignore the
walking,
wounds.
just being a walking monster, just being a pile and a shambling corpse. There you go.
Cool. So he reaches in, or he takes his fangs and rips into your neck, and you hit the ground and you're bleeding to death. And once you hit the ground, he is no longer concerned with you. He turns on his haunches and he beelines right back towards the seed pod. But it's going to take him quite a bit to get there,
Oh boy.
and it's your guys' turn.
Alrighty.
Kisses the flare and is like, come on.
That is a powerful fucking privilege because it makes this completely inconsequential that you just dropped. We might have to revisit that privilege.
1 success.
1 success, and that is enough. So you stab the blade into the seed pod, and when you do, it shudders. And when it shudders, everything shudders. And you can sort of, as you're fading in and out. By the way, those voices, you always have heard them, but now you really hear them, and they're saying things, and you really don't like this state between life and death, because that thing that lives in your head is talking to you, but you're just trying to tune it out. And you can see when the whole ground shudders, all of the people fall, and the vines start to desiccate off of them. And the wolf falls too, but it keeps running. And you guys will see all of these vines all around the stadium start to collapse. The seed pod just bursts.
Blueberry moss.
Right, so you guys are the pod itself bursts into flames and begins to desiccate rapidly, and all of these things,
More fire, mother.
and you're just hacking it apart, and the vines will all fall around, and you'll start to be able to see all around the stadium, and you will see it. It is coming at you, and you'll see parts of it falling off as it's charging and trying to get you in time, and it's howling and snarling, and it gets almost to you, but by the time it gets to you, there's really nothing left. And so the momentum just carries the skull forward, and the skull just rolls to your feet.
And
And you
Plunge it
smash
right-
the skull.
Yeah.
And all around, there's just a moment where the only sound is the burning of the seed pod and the thick kind of snaps as these vines are hitting the ground. And then the sound of 2,000 people vomiting at once and a lot of screaming.
I think I'm vomiting too. At
Yeah,
this point.
yeah.
And then
Remember that scene in The Goonies about how,
you guys are sort of trying to, you find him and you're up, you're fucked up, but you're up and you're alive, and you guys have made it, and you're sort of trying to help the townspeople because they're starting to really not understand what happened or why they were here. It's almost like they're forgetting what was going on. And then you hear the heavy thump of what sounds like several helicopters. And you realize all the way through this fight, the rain had been getting less and less.
Yeah,
and less.
yeah. I was gonna ask you about the rain.
So eventually the helicopters get there and they land on the field, and several teams of these guys in black Roman armor pour out.
Yeah, I've gone to find you and carry you back and see if you're alive.
I'm very
Barely.
much alive,
You
but
look-
I'm missing a chunk of my neck.
Yep.
You're holding it in.
And the car doesn't look great.
Car's trashed. Yeah. Gonna need your
And
car.
there's chunks of werewolf in a very obvious line.
And the Romans, you'll see that there are some of them are not wearing armor. Some of them are wearing scrubs, and they'll get out and they'll go. They're helping townspeople. And one of the Roman guys is wearing kind of this big ostentatious belt that's got all of these discs. And you know enough Latin to know that this guy is probably in command.
Oh, yeah.
And he will come to you guys. He will tell you that his name is Cassius. He's the guy that you were talking to.
Oh yeah, you're that guy.
All right, Cassius.
Hey.
I've got put you on
You probably want this back.
He'll take the sword, and he'll take a velvet cloth, and he'll wrap the blade in the velvet cloth, and he's got the blade. He'll take it like this, and he'll hand it over to a velvet box, and he'll place it delicately in the box. The box will be closed, and two guys in robes will take that into a waiting chopper.
Yeah, that's.
Guys should have brought herbicide. Weed killer worked really well.
I'm glad you thought of it.
Good.
As they point here.
Good call.
Ow.
So I suppose some explanations are probably in order.
Yeah, that'd be real nice, but also medical attention.
Yeah.
Well, let's deal with that first.
Yeah. Please.
So over the course of the next several days, they give you a choice of whether or not to get in these birds, but you're
Yeah,
getting
no, we're
these
getting-
birds.
You're getting
Yeah,
these
yeah.
birds.
We know too
I
much.
kind of want to go because I'm like, oh, this town's a little fucked, and there's a lot of weird shit going on.
I don't want to deal with the depression that's going to come after this.
So you can see that the medical needs, there are actual physicians among them, and the physicians are taking care of the townspeople. And Cassius will be giving orders, and he'll say, "Hey, look, that guy really looks like get him. You're gonna control his bleeding." And it's very clear to you that these guys care. And normally we wouldn't pull the curtain back this far on this game, but since this is a live stream, we kind of want people to see our world a little
Yeah.
bit. We're also going to
I'm
give
intrigued.
We're going to give you guys a little bit of a hint of what the world really is. So, over the course of the next several days, first and foremost, they treat your wounds and they get you back healthy. And when you're healthy and you're very well fed and taken care of, and you're in this very sterile facility, and they will towards the end of that start a death by PowerPoint class where they take you through everything that you just went through, what was going on. And basically, you guys will get a lot of accolades. These guys are, they're telling you, you guys saved the town. We could not have gotten there. That town would be gone, and we would be salting the earth. And that would not have been a thing that could be ever repaired again. You will find out that the cult of Sol Invictus exists largely to put these problems right when they happen. However, because you know Latin and because you know some Roman history, you piece together a little bit more of this puzzle. They are, in fact, the good guys. They are the X-Files dudes who go in and fix problems.
Right.
They also serve something. And the something that they serve is Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. Sol Invictus is definitely a good guy. He is the sun. He is the brightness that brings us warmth and light and he's not exactly the sun himself, but he is the thing that embodies the sun and is the giant worm that is eating it, and he is the thing that embodies the sun and makes sure that everybody survives and he's eating it, and it's fine. And it'll probably take billions of years for him to finish it up. You don't need to worry about it. And he's definitely the good guy though.
It
You know
takes
what?
a lot to digest.
I lost my faith in Yahweh when the levee broke.
Yeah.
So I'm good. All right, fine. Take your time.
So and the three of you will be extended invitations to train with Sol Invictus.
Sounds like
my only choice.
Yeah,
I
sounds like that.
don't have much where else to go.
Well, the options that they will give you, and because these guys are, they seem like they definitely worship a god that is eating the
It's
sun.
a cult. It's a cult.
However, they're also
Paramilitary cult.
they're also good guys,
Yeah,
and
they're doing good work.
They tell you, look, the bottom line is your life is never going to be the same. We're not going to stop you from leaving. If you want to leave, the only thing that we ask is you take one of these, and they'll give you one of those phones, just so we can sort of keep up with you guys. Because if this happens again, we may use you and pay you as consultants to give us some ideas on what to do. Otherwise, you can join the cult, and you get cool armor. Get some money. It'd be good. Really, you should join the cult. I think it'd be best for you.
Yeah, it sounds great. I'm good. Just one requirement.
Yeah.
Wherever I get relocated to, it's not a fucking floodplain.
We can make that happen for sure.
Yeah.
How's Tunisia?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right, you're
It
going to
sounds-
Tunisia. And over the course of the next few years, you guys become hunters.
Oh boy.
And that's it. That's the Midnight World.
Yay! Well, thank you very much, James.
Praise the unconquered sun.
So you made it at 2 hours?
2 hours, 10 minutes, 5 seconds.
Ooh, you were very close to 3.
3 is
Shit gets weirder.
yeah. 3 is where 3 is the first of the hours where. So I'll let you guys just kind of in on it.
Yeah.
Every odd hour you gain new contracts. You saw that.
Yeah, I saw that
yeah.
in the back. You get a new power, essentially.
Yeah, and then every even hour you get that many points to add to your sheet.
I see. That's how progression works.
But starting at 3 o'clock, there is also a downside for going up in hours.
Because you are tapping into the dark.
Because you are becoming an otherworldly thing. Yeah. And it's harder to interact with the world around you. But that's it, guys. This is so I one of the things that we wanted to make people very aware of, one of the reasons we're very glad that you guys let us do the live stream, is we didn't want people to think, like, yes, we are an independent studio. We're an independent studio who's put 1,000 hours into this game.
Oh yeah.
So this game is, look, we got a book, everybody. Check this out. You got this whole,
It is nice.
you guys got a whole book here. And this is just chapter 2, and it's actually just the first half of chapter 2. The book right now is 148 pages.
It's in a playable state.
I'm
obviously.
hoping to pare it down because I know what I'm paying my editor per word.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah. You want the
welcome to the
input to
glories.
be yeah.
Welcome to the glories of production.
But we'll definitely be doing another stream of the Midnight World. I'll probably run a session of this.
I'd love it because I've gotten to play it one time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do another one probably when the Kickstarter is running.
And we begin our Kickstarter, everybody, on February 14th.
Ooh, that's closer than I thought it was. All
Yeah,
right, cool.
So we looked at our calendars. We tried to find the scariest day we could think of.
Yes, absolutely.
That was a very scary day.
Yeah. So
Then that means just for be in contact with us, we'll here at Polyhedron, we'll probably do another deep dive. Actually.
Sure.
We'll have you on the show and we'll talk about Midnight World.
my partner and I, my business partner and I, would love to come on the show and talk to you all
absolutely.
about
We
it.
can make that happen too.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope everyone out there had a really
I
good
hope you
time.
guys had fun.
Absolutely.
I had a good time.
It was a great time.
This is one of my favorite. So I've run Avery Main now, and I want to give a real quick shout out. The game was this module was drastically rewritten by Corey McIntyre when he ran it for me because he didn't want me to know what was going to happen. But when he rewrote it, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that is so much better than what I wrote. So Corey, the Avery Main was written by myself and Corey McIntyre.
Pretty cool.
Definitely check out the Kickstarter when it goes live.
Absolutely.
Want to take this opportunity to thank the patrons of Simulacra Studios for supporting the show, making this fancy-ass gaming setup.
It's very
This is
nice.
our first time doing a live stream with the new setup. So hopefully we'll work out that kink with the main camera here.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think
He's
it went
smiling,
well.
by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ha!
But
Other than that, I
absolutely.
think it looks really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Mr. James Davey, Miss Abby Peterson, Miss Mo Ferrer, Mr. David Haddad, Mr. Eric Ramos, and Mr. Michael Tyson, who are all my $5 patrons, which that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's,
good.
that's really
Hey,
good.
you
number,
were not
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
$5
Oh, shit,
patrons.
Yeah,
help us man
$5
out.
patrons. Like, I'll have to say your name every time.
Michael Tyson is a patron here.
Yeah,
He was
absolutely.
one of my $5 patrons too. And when I first saw it, I'm like, I can't piss this guy off.
What a
Yeah,
saint.
absolutely.
Whatever.
No, absolutely.
Also, if you become a patron, I'm sure that will entice Mr. Scott here to make sure that a Midnight World becomes potentially more regular.
Yeah,
regular
we
situation.
might be able to set up a stream. I mean, that
would be amazing.
We've Matthews run a game in the future. Absolutely, having a part of the regular rotation is definitely part of the thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so from everyone here at Simulacra Studios, thank you very much.
Bye,
Thanks.
guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.